yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary.
Top 5 dead alive, only came to terrify. Every topic scary, we can lead the bravest paralyzed. Hope you're not at home alone, better keep the lights on. But if you love adrenaline, then welcome to the fright zone. Willie is the leader, the visionary dreamer. Gerard got the joke, scaredy cat the screamer. You gon' get this work, if you scared, go to church. This podcast is scariest, you heard it here first.
That he said that to me because I was like, I'm just excited that Jeepers Creepers is here. You know, I want to see the character again. But when because he's a huge lover of Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary. Yeah, that's scary.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Yep, That's Scary. I'm your host, Willie May, and it's good to be back in the studio. And I just want to say, and I want to wish everybody, all the mothers out there, Happy Mother's Day! Let's get that out the way. I had to make it nice and sweet because my mom was like, could you stop doing horror for just one day? Well, that's your one day, Mom. Love ya. Mwah! All right, so on today's show, we got it's a good show. It's about that time hot owners and managers start posting jobs and positions while scare actors prepare for the 2023 haunt season. On today's show, live, we have Alan Hops dishing out tips with Yep, That's Scary gang on how to have a productive audition and scare actor training. I am so excited. So give me my host, Gerard. What's up, Gerard? How you doing? Where's my doorbell? There it is. What's up, man? How are you? You forgot to show. Well, I don't. Go ahead. Your chest hair is out. The taco meat is out, man. Why is the taco meat out, bro?
It's real hot in this room.
It's real. Listen. It's hot in this room too. It's getting hot in here. And last time I was on in the studio, it was hot. I swear I was melting, and we all, Anyways, but it's good to see you, man.
Look, you like your butt all the way up here. I like it down here. It's gotta be even.
Yeah, I think that's the difference between us. Is like, make sure you turn up your mic a little bit. That's the difference between us. I'm like more conservative, and then you're more wild child. But the thing is, really, I'm more wild and you're conservative. But it's crazy.
On my behalf, on any women I have accidentally made a mother, don't let me know because I don't want to deal with no child support. Amen.
Well, then wrap it up, nasty. Lord have mercy. You guys, welcome to Yep, That's Scary. We got a good show for you today. I'm your host, Willie May, and then this is Gerard, my co-host, and I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. We got a good show for you. But before we go to this good show, let's do our little tribute to our mothers. Yeah, you ready? You ready, Gerard?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So, this is my mom, Veronica. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. You are amazing and an inspiration to my life. I love you so much. And even though we are both Sagittarius and we fight, I just want to say I love you. And I'm glad that I'm your oldest son. Yay, Mama! All right. Next, we got. Oh, that's your mom.
This is my mother, Charmin. She's a wonderful, beautiful woman. She's a bit crazy at times, you know. I've had many a time she tried to stab me, but in a good mother love kind of way, you know.
Yes, yes,
You don't let her
yes.
try to stab you, you know.
Listen,
Uh,
what mother would stab a son?
Well, you had that back in the day, like you're at a dinner table or something, and you throw your elbow on. She's like, "Get that off!" And she takes a fork and just go, "Cha!"
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Or if you're in church and you're like kicking the seat, or you're like being loud, and she comes with a pincher and pinches you in church, and you're like, "Ooh."
Yeah, like it's like, and there's no warning shot with the fork either. Like anything else,
No.
there might be a warning, but if there's a fork, there's no damn warning. It's just like, ah,
Yep,
it's like,
yep. Anything else you want to say to Mama?
love you. When I get to see you again, I expect some fettuccine, nice fettuccine. Oh, so bad.
Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds real
You know,
good.
mom. I think all moms have a meal that their kids love, and that it's the fettuccine.
Yeah. And to our co-host that's in absence, Scary Cat Cat, we love you. She is a mother of many, and because and I say that because no, listen, I say that because not only is she biological, but haunt, haunt family. She's literally, I've seen her be a haunt mom for so many. But I just want to say this to you, Scary Cat Cat, we love you. And what an awesome mom. What an awesome glue you've been to your family. What an awesome example you've been to your family. What an awesome, strong woman you are. Keep doing you. Keep being, bringing that motherly love and advice to everyone that you come with. You have raised beautiful men and women, and in your family, and you're just. I'm so happy to have you on. Yep, that's scary, and we love you here, and we miss you. We cannot wait to have you back. So, and I believe May 21st she's coming back. Woo! And let's just say that we thank God for a healthy report, and we can't wait to see you. Love you. Mwah!
You
And
gotta
that
admit, this show has been lacking without Cat. Cause let me tell you, sometimes I say some stupid shit, and
and
she lets
she
me
needs
do
to,
it.
yeah, I do,
She lets
because I
me
don't
do it.
care anymore. Yeah.
So, and for any moms, it goes to all moms, just those we point out specifically. We love you all. Thank you for
Yes,
being
we
who
love you
you
all.
are. Bitches, y'all. Some of y'all need to step up, though, and do the right thing. But we love you,
That's
moms.
not me. Oh, you talking about the young moms out there? So you gotta
I'm
be
talking about the
specific.
wrong.
Wait, what?
Next time, how you doing?
You doing?
Okay, next topic. We're just gonna keep it going. And hi everyone from that's out there that is here for the show. We got Molly Zombie in the house holding it down and the support. What's up, love? Molly's the zombie. Hey, you need to come out to Atlanta and give us that slingshot ride. We need to do that slingshot ride. Then we have everyone that's here that's ready to rock and roll with Alan House. We got a great show for you today. Talk about actors training because this is about that time. It is about that time. But before we go there, I also want to wish all the graduates, the ones that are the class of 2023 from high school and college, we want to wish you guys congratulations on a great big milestone in your life. And it's so funny. I graduated from college, and I have to walk still. And I thought I was going to walk this year, but it's being pushed back to next year. So because I do want to walk. I do want to just get my cap and gown, just do my little strut across the stage. But anyways, also we want to say happy halfway to Halloween. Now, some people say like it's April 30th. It says April 30th. Listen, halfway to Halloween is April 30th to June. All right, don't say nothing about it because everyone has to do it at different times. And halfway to Halloween is just a wide variety. It's like Shark Week. It's just a wide. You know what I mean? Halfway to Halloween. Okay, so we'll be keep celebrating halfway to Halloween because everyone does it different times and whatnot. To them. So don't hate on us. But anyways, how was your first of all, I want to apologize to everyone that was out waiting to see a show with us last Sunday. I got really sick. And let me just say this: it is always good to take a mental health break to decompress and to relax, because you know what, being out there with so much going on, craziness, it is good to detach from everything and to take a break. And so I needed that, and I didn't know I needed that, and I kept running until I was like, oh my gosh, and I actually passed out. Which I'm going to tell that story in a second, but I want to jump to your story, buddy, because I'm curious to know what's going on with your story. So, how was your week?
So actually, having that day off was perfect because
Was
I
it?
was a little bit ready for this new, and I did not realize how much goes into the job. I've had several. We all been through orientations, getting hired on this and that. I'm still in my orientation, and this binder is what I wanted to show you. So they gave out a whole ass binder. Like, I'm trying not to reveal nothing because it's all confidential.
If you guys are watching it, you guys can if y'all can hear us clearly, just let us know. Say I can hear you in the chat rooms. I don't know if you guys can hear us, but I can. I'm having a difficulty hearing you, Gerard. So just make sure you are talking to that mic. Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah.
See, look, they say I
So,
can barely hear Gerard. You gotta talk up, buddy, or fix your settings. I can't do it. You're all the way up on my end. Thank you, Josh Evans. Yes, I'm glad. I'm glad I'm feeling better too. It's been crazy. I mean, this is a crazy year because there's so much going on, and it's great for the industry, right? But sometimes we gotta just like pause. And someone told me this. They said, "Listen, Will, before you go flying a lot, you travel the world a lot." I said, "Yes, I do." They said, "But when you're on that plane, I can hear Willie perfectly. Yes, woo! Let's go. Am I too loud? Do I need to back up? Because some people say I
now,
scream into the mic."
this is
Go
better.
ahead.
1, 2, 3.
Are you in your settings? Are you all the way up?
Settings.
Go ahead, turn yourself all the way up. Just make sure. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Well, let me just turn myself down then. Just you gotta make sure. What is your treble, your bass, and your monitor, your record say?
It's about like I don't know, halfway.
We're so sorry for the technical difficulties. Clearly, we.
Really, I broke this over the weekend. That's what happened.
Thank you. Talk like that. Just talk like that from the whole show, okay? Hot Scene is in the house. What's up, Hot Scene? We love you. We miss you. Don't do that, you guys. I'm gonna put you out the show because you. If that's a meme, if that is a meme, I'm gonna kill you. We are goofy over here, you guys. It is we miss each other, and it's so much going on, and he's a hoot. But anyways, go ahead, talk about your story, Gerard. Just talk into the mic, okay?
Yeah. So if you could see, like, this is just one section of the amount of paperwork you have to do in like a day to get this job. Like, that's just one set. I got another set right here. They've emptied and cleared this thing out a couple times now. Like, an absurd amount of paperwork and just getting the stuff lined up. Like, I felt like I've been to college because, like, this is just one binder. That's not half my computer work. Like, Jesus.
Saying they cannot hear you, man. I mean, you gotta turn up. You gotta right. You maybe during horror news in a minute. What I'm going to do is during horror news in a minute, you need to detach, go in your settings, and make it work. Okay, you're going to have to be a big boy on this one. Okay? I can't help you because I'm going to be doing horror news in a minute. All right, that's the only thing I can do for you. All right, but everyone's laughing now. They're putting up these emojis. Well, we're so excited. We got a good show for you guys today. We're going to move on, but let me just say this: it was so funny because I did. I had an amazing week. My sister, she launched her book, and I don't know if you guys know this about my sister, but she is a life coach, and she works with a lot of women and a lot of youth, and we are going to. I want her to start talking to the youth of the haunt industry because I believe there is a disconnect with some of them, and that they need to understand that they are loved and needed in our industry, and that they don't need to fill that void with anything that is negative. And so, that this is something that I want to do with Kat too, and then bring a therapist and talk about mental health. You know what I mean? But my sister, I love her to death. She is such a young rock star, and I'm trying to put her picture up. I'm trying to put a picture up so I can show her. But she launched a book last weekend, and she pretty much came to sat me and my parents down. I was like, "Yo, I got something to tell you." We're like, "You pregnant?" And she's like, "No, I'm not pregnant." And we're like, "You about to get married?" She's like, "No." We're like, "Wait, what? What is it?" And she was like, "I launched a book." And so I don't know if you guys can see it, but her name is Dinkley, and it's called Forgive. It's a book and a guided journal for healing. And let me just say this: I got you a copy, Gerard. I got Kat a copy. Yes. So I just need to, at some point when we get together and we're in California, you're going to get it. So, but I got you guys a copy, and I think I got one for your mom too. So I'm doing some people with copies. But let me just say this: this book is amazing. It's a journal. You can write in it, and I'm gonna. If you go on my Instagram, Willie May now. You can see pictures and stuff of her and her testimony and just how she's helping young people. And they say let me get that off. They said they can't hear you. Yes, sir. But it was crazy. It was crazy because I'm so proud of her. That are you on a Mac or PC? See, I'm on a Mac. He's on a PC. So we all know what should be happening. Look. If Johnny Bravo is still in the house, Johnny Bravo will have to just sit down with Gerard and just let him know, like, hey, you need to upgrade your system, and because Johnny Bravo, his shows be on hot seat, be on point. Yeah, give me.
I was at my center yesterday looking at a new setup. So
A new setup.
Yeah, the whole setup I'm changing every day.
Yeah. Okay, well, look. Yeah, there's your mic.
Default setting. I don't even know what a default is, but okay.
Default setting? Probably. Jesus Christ, whatever. Okay, anyways, so then after the book launch, and I was so proud of her, we had so many people out there, and we blessed her and whatnot. Then I went and saw, don't anyone laugh about this, but I went and I went to, and saw Michael Jackson tribute band.
Went to the Who's Bad tour, the Michael Jackson tribute show.
Let me just say this: that show was on point. Michael Jackson was kind of tired. I ain't gonna lie. The man was like, and I felt like he was like chained to the show, and he was like, I felt like he was like one of those circus monkeys, like dance, and he, because he'd done it so much, and I'm like, dude, like, but you know what? He kept pushing, and someone turned to me and they said, listen, he's not the real Michael Jackson, and we just gotta remember that. If he was the real Michael Jackson, he wouldn't get tired. And I was like, you know what? That's right. But this one was, and what I love about him, and you guys go to my Instagram as well and check it out because it's on there. But he was like a dark shader, darker than Michael before he passed away. So he was like that perfect Michael when he got his hair burnt at the Pepsi commercial. I was like, yes, Michael. He had the baby hair and like the nappy ponytail. It was good. It was a good show, and the saxophone player. Amazing guy. I'm trying to tell you guys that was a good show. So, anyways, we will have a good show for you guys today. We got Alan Hops in the show in the house.
How's it sounding?
Oh, bro, okay, so I know what you did there. So let me just keep it for tonight, and I'm just going to bring you now. All right, There you go. Speak to me.
How's
All right.
this?
All right, keep going.
How's this?
Perfect. How's that, guys? Ooh. Look, Kate wrote your whole story. Okay, thank you, Kent.
I saw that. Thank you very
Go
much,
ahead.
Kent.
Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah,
What were you gonna say?
The microphone. This is the microphone off the camera, so I'm just
Yeah.
rednecking it right now.
That's what I figured, and so I'm just going to turn you a little bit down because you're loud over here. Anyways, so then after I got home from like seeing Michael Jackson in tribute, the dark skinned Michael, and then the book signing. I don't know what happened. Like someone like coughed me and got me a little 24-hour COVID or bug flu, but whatever. But I was just mentally exhausted, and then I passed out. And then I woke up to. Okay, thank you. He said, "Drop my volume down." Oh, we got some techies in the house. Go ahead, teach us something. We are learning.
We need.
I don't know. Right? Thank you, Kit. So let me go here because we want our show to. No, we want to be really good tech wise. You know what I mean? And we strive for that.
I'm heading over to Micro Center here soon. I'm bringing the laptop, my entire setup, and be like, "Do it." Like I don't know what to do. Just do it.
Yeah, look, we know you're not that tech savvy, but yeah, it is 2023. But anyways, so then after I passed out, like I literally like fell back and passed out, and the show was about to be on in like 30 minutes, right? The show was going to be on 30 minutes. And then I literally just clunked out, and everyone was calling me. They were like, "Yo, is Willie going to get on?" And then I woke up to someone sucking my toes. And I was like, "Ooh, that's kind of kinky." And I was like, feeling it. You know? I was like, "Who is this sucking my toes?" And then I woke up, and it was this guy. I was like, "Yo, you got to like back off, like come on, man." And so it's a big deal. Yes, you guys, I was in Tennessee, and it was a big deal. And I think he lost his job, but it's nothing wrong with sucking toes. But you don't break it in someone's room to suck someone's toes. You got to ask them. You got to consent or have a consent form.
I think I missed the news story, but okay.
Anyways, let's get started with the show. We got horror news in a minute. Okay, faced with pandemic-related declines in social activities and high inflations that saw consumers cutting their spending, Party City filed for bankruptcy in 2023 of January. At the time, the retailer operated 770 companies-owned stores and 53 franchises locations. Also, in January, the retailer has sought to be released from lease agreements for an additional 28 stores that is already had closed. Things are not looking here for Party City, and this was announced. And you know what? This is crazy. Oh my gosh, the tech stuff just literally just happened. Woo! We don't need a production manager. It's like we really do need a production manager. But that yes, Party City is going through some hardships. They're downsizing, and you know during COVID, everyone has to downsize. But really, this is not looking so good. But I know Party City is like this. Bring it, bro, bring it. All right, here we go. Next on the list. Oh, this is great. Warner Brothers has announced that Beetlejuice 2 will be released on the big screen September 6, 2024. First of all, let me just say this. I am a big Beetlejuice fan. I love Beetlejuice. I watched the movie so many times. I love Tim Burton and all that he does. I have a Beetlejuice onesie. I want to go to the Beetlejuice musical. I have friends that have been in the Broadway musical of Beetlejuice, like Alec Brightman, Leslie, and Rob McClure. They are just amazing people, amazing actors. And I'm so sorry that our schedules didn't line up so I could see the show because that was during the midst of COVID as well. But I love this, and I love Beetlejuice. And first of all, let me just say this: we were like kind of like the first ones to release because I got word in the streets that Beetlejuice was coming back, and people dogged me out for the longest. I think it was like almost a year saying that's not true. This is fan art. That's not true. I'm like, no, Beetlejuice is coming. Listen, Beetlejuice is coming back. Do you understand how long it takes for a movie to? Sometimes a studio can throw money at a movie and then they'll move it fast. They'll get the writers together. But sometimes because there's creative differences or creative things that okay. Yes, Gerard. But because of that, you got to make sure all the stars align, and that's what they were doing. They were just making sure everything aligned up for Beetlejuice 2, and it is. Okay, so back off, people. Beetlejuice 2 is on its way to the big screen. Okay, let's talk about it. Warner Brothers announced that. Nope, not there. There, Dead City and the brand new official trailer was released and debuted by AMC this week. AMC has revealed that Dead City will premiere on June 18th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on AMC and AMC Plus. Okay, this is a spinoff to The Walking Dead, and let me just tell you, the internet went crazy when they dropped this trailer. It looks really good, and let me just say this to all the haunt owners out there: listen up to what I gotta say. We just finished Last of Us. Now we're going to Walking Dead. I said previously that zombies is going out of style. The next are clowns. Well, the clown movement didn't move fast enough. And let me tell you, with Last of Us being so hyped and The Walking Dead's coming out now, zombies are still winning. So if you're designing an attraction, please leverage it. You may not have the Walking Dead title. You may not get a license like some other people can do, but leverage it. They're winning still. All right, moving on. Oh, this is crazy. All right, here we go. In spirit of... Okay, no. Go up. Where's my note? Sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. Burger King is going to hold a special promotion with Spider-Man across the Spider-Man verse with a new Spider-Man themed Whopper. The fast food chain is no stranger to doing weird crossover events with their food, as they once did a black bun for Halloween as well, which I remember that, and I bought one and I didn't record it. But anyways, it was a black bun. It was an orange bun for the spicy version, and then another that had a red bun without hot sauce baked into it. But this is going to be different level, as you can see from the image below, or there across from me, as the team will be making a Spider-Man red suit colored Whopper to promote the new animated film. What do you guys think about this, Gerard? What do you think about the new Whopper coming in? What is your thoughts on this one?
I think that's going to turn my shit red. I'm gonna stay clear away from that. The food ain't natural colors. I don't want to.
So left field. I wasn't even ready for it. I didn't even catch it. Yes. First of all, listen. I love WAP. First of all, I don't like. I'm not gonna say anything because of sponsors opportunities. Okay, but let me just say this: this is a great idea. When I looked at the Whopper, the little seeds, it looked like ants was on it. I was like, I ain't eat no ant. I mean, it looked like roaches. But I mean, look, they're doing a great job. I love Whopper, Burger King making these amazing marketing designs with their promotions. It's great. But yeah, it may turn your poop red, Gerard.
Kind of like ants on a payday.
Ants on a maggots. Don't you do it? Don't go there, you guys. Listen, so I can't eat paydays anymore because I went to a store, purchased Aspired Payday. Didn't know when I was a kid, coming from church with my family, and I love Payday. It was I was a big fan of it, and then I opened it up and I started chewing it, and things started falling on my chest, and I was like, "Ooh, these are just peanuts," and I was just like kicking my feet and looking outside the window, and I was eating these peanuts, thinking that they were peanuts. and it didn't taste right. And I looked down, and I saw green ooze coming out from the center, and in between the nuts and the caramel was maggots. Then I looked down, and there was maggots on my shirt. This thing haunted my life for still now. I can't eat payday. I can eat nut rolls now, thank God. Woo! But I can't eat paydays. Maggots, yes, I ate, and after I screamed, my parents pulled over, and I wanted to jump off the bridge. But yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy, and never again. So check their expiration every time when you eat something. But anyways, go ahead.
I got some news.
Yep.
Or maybe
Go ahead.
I get some news or it's an ordeal.
All right.
Okay, has anybody else noticing at Trans World and stuff that it seems like it's shifting its topic? Like they've lost, what was it, 80 vendors and had to refill them up with different vendors, and it's less horror haunted house related. You know what I'm talking about?
Whoa!
Bounce houses, inflatable.
Where are you coming up with this information, dude? Like, I haven't seen you for like a whole 2 weeks, and you're like filled with this stuff. You're not even like talking to me. You're not even like say, "Hey, did you hear this?" I'm like, you didn't say it on live. No, I did not know that, dude. What are you?
I talk to some people every now and then, you know.
Bro. No, but I mean, yes. Okay. First of all, I have noticed that there's been a, like kind of like a shift, a change, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, Christmas. We knew Christmas was coming out and everything, and then escape games and stuff like that. But I noticed last year, which I didn't tell nobody, that there was a new interactive show, but they're keeping it all in one. Like, so, like you got the haunt show, you got the Christmas show, and you got like other shows on the same date, but they're just making different like sections of it. Yes, it's kind of
be a new app. They're getting rid. I guarantee you, they're getting rid of horror and they're becoming an IAPA, something similar to an IAPA.
You break it so, dude. Hold on, you guys, hold that thought. First of all, Alan Hops is coming on.
Think about it.
And Alan Hops is from what I know is like a board member or vendor, board member or something of Transworld. I mean, we could probably ask him, but like, dude, you dropping a lot of eggs right now and not telling nobody. Okay, anyways, let's just go to your segment, you guys. Listen, I'm so excited. We got a great show for you today. We're talking about actor training. We're talking about actor auditions, and our group, the Facebook group Scare Actors Auditions, is sponsoring this episode, and we are so excited because we got so much to talk to you about. And we're excited because we got Alan Hops on the show, and I'm a huge Alan Hops fan. Been following him for a very long time, and I am excited to have him on the show. So we're gonna have him real soon. But it is time for you to do your thing. You ready? Yep.
Let's do it.
Would you just say your line? Go to your script and say your line.
It's time for
Take it or skip it, stream it or miss it.
Curse of the Wolf Mountain, May 9th on video on demand. This dilemma starts with a young man struggling with his dreams of his parents' death and something almost calling him to the mountain. So like we all know here at Yep, that means something's evil calling you. So block that voice in your head and call your priest. You know what I mean? Let's take a look at the Curse of the Wolf Mountain. Wolf Mountain.
What did you see?
Something was there with us.
There could be dangers in unlocking these memories, AJ.
Don't you want to know what happened to Mom and Dad? Of course I do. Look, I'm going up to Wolf Mountain.
Y'all heard of the legend of Wolf Mountain? They say there's a wolf man up there. There'll be female young hikers.
What are you scared of?
What I might find.
So, what brings you guys out here in the middle of nowhere?
Did you guys hear that? They're gone.
Wow. Wow.
Now, did you notice what I noticed?
What?
It's first off, it's the actor from Saw, the old doctor guy.
Oh yes, yes, and then they got what's his name Trejo in it too. Yes. I thought it was.
Trejo.
Yeah, I thought this was an independent film, but it's not.
It looks a
money.
lower budget, and I'm excited to see Danny Trejo. I love when he acts. I think he does a great job.
Mm-hmm.
And I just noticed there's a Saw guy. Like as we watched it for the third time.
I did not realize it. I mean, well, you watched it for the third time. I didn't. This is the first time seeing it. So yeah, that's great. I don't know if this is a ticket for me though, or stream it for me. And the reason being is because it looks. I mean, look, I'm not opposed to independent films or anything like that. I love independent films, and it's just again the trailer has to gravitate to me in order for me to make that action to watch or to buy a ticket, and it just didn't do it for me. What about you?
I don't even know anymore. Like when I first watched it, I had high hopes for it, but it's like keep watching. It's like third or fourth time seeing the trailer, and now I'm picking at details I normally won't pick up, and it's not as exciting as it was before for me. So I think this, after a couple watches, I think it's a skip it for me now.
Okay, is it skip it for you? Oh my gosh, you guys!
Yeah.
If it's a if it's a stream it, so what this is a skip it or ticket, and we get to watch trailers, and we get to say, hey, of new trailers that's coming out, and we get to say it's going to be a skip it or ticket for us, and that's what we're doing here. And let me just say this: that one was a skip it for me, and for Gerard. If it is a skip it for you, in the chat, just let us know by saying skip it. If it's a ticket, let us know, or stream it, let us know, and why, because we love audience participation. All right, Gerard.
Rafa Becky coming out May 26th. Yes, I did write these scripts a week ago. They was ahead of the schedule, but for some reason, I guess while fishing out there by the lake, and you try to write scripts over the internet, sometimes stuff gets lost. One thing was lost was a script for Rafa Becky. So here's what I came up with in the last 5 minutes. Rafa Becky. I don't know about y'all, but I haven't heard or met a Becky who isn't a little fucked up in the head. But Becky is closer to John Wick crazy. Any level-headed person with a dog, you know, going for this situation. But just imagine, I can't see a cat person going for this at all. But enough talk about how bad cat people are. Let's get to the point and let's check out Rafa Becky. How you doing?
It's been 2 years since 4 neo-Nazis invaded my family's lake house and murdered my father. I'm 16 now. I've run away from 3 foster homes.
Diego, come.
This is Elena Khan. I've lived with her for the past year.
We go now to a developing story. They call themselves the Noblemen, and they may be coming here to Fillmore. Whether or not the Noblemen decide to make an appearance at the town hall on Wednesday, only time will tell.
So are you going to seat us, or you're just going to stand there?
Right this way.
Finally. She did that on purpose.
Diego, attack!
Diego?
Diego!
saving our country and to stopping the treason one vengeful mission at a time. To freedom.
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 Who is it?
It's Becky.
You took my dog.
We go to the cops?
I got enough weaponry in my barn to start an insurrection at Town Hall tomorrow. Find the girl and
Give her back her dog!
it was fun while it lasted.
It's not over yet.
See, you want to see one person with a pet cat do none of that. All I'm saying is cat people are terrible people. I'm not saying it's true, but it's absolutely the truth.
Here at That's Scary, we love all types of pets.
We're going to start a war with cat people.
No.
Yes.
I don't need any people emailing me here at yepthat'sscary@gmail.com. No, don't do it, you guys. Please don't.
We only do dogs here. Do dogs.
Stop.
What is this for you? Is this a skip it or ticket for you?
This is a ticket for me. Let me just tell you. First of all, they got Stifler in the movie, so I'm so pumped to see Stifler from American Pie in the movie. So that was really cool. And then to see a heroic, a female character to literally have that arc of having everything taken from her. She already had this bad situation, and then it went worse. Her best friend, man's best friend, but women's best friend, actually went away, and then got taken from her, and then she finally had courage to get back. It's bloody, so I love a little bit gore, and so and it kind of has that John Wick feel to it. Which, by the way, did you see John Wick 4? No.
I bootlegged it actually.
Oh, you have? Okay, yeah. I need to watch it. So that's my Father's Day thing with me, my dad. Anyways, but this is a ticket for me. I love it. I love the feel. I love everything about it. It's gonna make me laugh. It kind of gives me some Cocaine Bear vibes in a way, just outlandish things happening, and yet the bear still survives, but yet she still survives. So yeah, I love it. Mm-hmm. What about you?
I think this got to be a ticket for me. I mean, I got maybe another year or maybe a year and a half before the next John Wick movie comes out. So hopefully this is pretty good. So I think it's just good all around, good time watch. So this is going to be a ticket from me.
Awesome. Sounds. Yes. What's the third one, buddy?
All right. Gremlins coming out May 23rd on HBO Max. Here we go again. Let's say it all together. Don't get these bitches wet. Don't feed these bitches after midnight. And yes, I know some of y'all don't have an issue with keeping things dry. I know what I mean. But this is Gremlins for a new generation, bringing back Gizmo in an animated adventure coming out on HBO Max May 23rd. Let's take a look at this.
Grandpa, where are we?
You need to discover the world's mysteries. Magic is all around us.
There's no such thing.
Gather round. I bring you a creature only whispered about in myth and legend.
It can't be. That is a Mogwai.
Whoa.
No mortal has seen one for centuries. They might look cute,
Hi, Gizmo. I'm Sam.
but this species is wildly dangerous.
Is that true? How dangerous can he be?
Nobody else has concerns.
You must return him to his home.
I'm coming with you. Wonderful. We have a map that no one understands except a magical squirrel that speaks gibberish.
I'm guessing this doesn't translate to everything's fine.
Look at you.
He would do anything to get these Mogwais.
Go get him, Sam. That creature will be mine.
Come get us! You know Kung Fu?
Wow. Wow. Okay. So let me just dive right into this one. So I'm a big Gremlins fan. I love Gremlins. When I first heard and we broke the news that there's going to be a Gremlins animation, I was all over it. This is a stream for me. I think it's perfect for animation. Don't you think? What do you think, buddy?
I am going to skip this.
Woo! No, you didn't.
I really am. You know, I just don't like children's animation, and it doesn't seem like my cup of tea. You know, I love the idea of doing something with the Gremlins. I love that franchise, but you know, at the same time, I have trouble. You know, I get a lot of stuff wet, so I can't be around these things too.
You're so stupid. You're so dumb. Okay, but anyways, well, that's great. If it's a stream for you guys, and you guys are watching live, let us know in the comments. Just say stream it. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and watch Gremlins. And so yeah, I love it, and I can't wait to watch it. And I'll let you know about it. I'll let you know if this is gonna be a good one. All right.
Let me know if it's entertaining. If it's entertaining, I might watch it. I gotta be. It's kids. I can't do it.
Okay, so again, we have Scare Actors Diaries, a new segment that's coming in with Yep, That's Scary. If you are a scare actor or a scare icon and you want to just dish out all the juiciness about you being a scare actor, please let us know at our Yep, Yep, That's Scary. You can go to any platform of our social media and just go to @yepthatscary.com and slide into our DMs and let us know if you're a scare actor and want to be on a different segment that we are doing, which is called Scare Actors Diaries, and juice it up. We are buying your favorite alcohol beverage, and you're going to drink it, and we're going to do an interview. So if this is for you, please let us know and get on the show. So this is going to be awesome. So yeah, what were you saying? Let you know about the Gremlins? I will let you know about the Gremlins, buddy. I will let you know about it. Okay. So we got the man of the hour here. He is in the studio, and I'm so excited. So again, guys, we got Alan Hops today, and we're going to be talking some great scare actors training and scare actors auditions with him. And again, I am so blessed to have him on the show. We are so blessed to have him on the show, and so I'm gonna go ahead and give you a little rundown about Alan Hops. You guys ready for it? All right, so Alan Hops, let me go. Alan Hops is a lifetime haunter and jack of all trades. Let me just say this. He's not just a jack of all trades. He's really a Renaissance man. For real. And a Renaissance man does everything and knows everything. And when you have someone special like that, you want to keep them. And you want to make sure that they are all right. And he is a big key player in our industry, in our haunted house industry. I just want to say that, first of all. But he's a jack of all trades in the haunted attraction industry, known for his work at haunt director at Dark Hours Haunted House in Texas, Plano, Texas, while also serving on the board of directors of the Haunted Attraction Association. Hops has been involved in the haunted houses since 1986. First of all, it doesn't tell his age; it just shows his experience in the haunted. And it has been the Dark Hour. Let me get my Facebook off. Sorry, guys. Going back to my script, has been with Dark Hour since it's opened 2013. 2013 has it been 2013?
His job responsibilities at Dark Hour includes designing, building, making costumes, and doing makeup for the attraction. Hops is also a talented sculptor, fabricator, and mask maker for Stilt Beast Studios. And let me tell you, his company has literally changed the game. I'm going to say this again. His business has changed the game. And I say that because some people have literally copied and took his work. And I'm just going to leave it right there. Which serves the haunted attraction industry worldwide, both by selling props and costumes and providing free education content through its YouTube channel. In addition to his work at Dark Hour, Hops has worked at other haunted attractions around the country, including the legendary Terror on Church Street haunted house in Orlando, Florida. In 2023, while continuing to serve as a haunt director, his wife Shannon Hops and business partner Mike Arties acquired ownership of Dark Hour Haunted House under the parent company of Dark Hour Designs. Ladies and gentlemen, before I bring him on, this is Dark Hour.
When you come to Dark Hour, you're going to get an over-the-top haunted house experience. We have a lot of stuff that you might typically find in like a stage production on Broadway or a theme park level attraction.
We actually at Dark Hour, we seek out tech that is above and beyond what you're normally going to see in day-to-day life.
Everything is just as state-of-the-art as it could get.
What makes our cast different? Number one is training, and number two is environment. With our realistic environments, they feel more in the character and more in the moment.
Over the last 10 years, we have just evolved and we've added more, we've tweaked more, and we've been able to really like fine tune all of the things that we do to put forward the best show possible.
What guests can expect from the Dark Hour experience is amazing, energetic actors, themed environments, and we really focus on the wow factor here at Dark Hour.
And on top of that, we just have such a spectacular show to give people. Bigger and better and different.
Dark Hour is a safe place to get scared. You're going to come here, you're going to scream, you're going to laugh with your friends, and release from the real world for a while.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alan Hops, what's up? First of all, I just want to say, my condolences to you, sir, losing a loved one. We just want to state that our love and prayer and positive vibes are to you. Also, I want to say this: you are an inspiration to me and to the haunt industry.
Well, thank you.
I just want to say the giving. You are a giver. And you give, and you give, and you give. I mean, just about, me asking you just to be on the show was just like shot in the dark. And you're like, yes, let's do it. And no matter what goes on, you're still committed to that. And I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being you and being an example. I watched like every video of yours. I've listen, let me just say this. You guys, my first time at Transworld. Well, first of all, I've been in the game for a minute, and I went to Transworld when it was in Vegas. But when it was in St. Louis the first year, I walked up to him, and I was so nervous. I was like, Alan, and he looked at me, and I just walked by. I couldn't finish it. I was just like, I can't do it. I didn't know how to function. It's weird because, like, I've worked in the film industry. I work with celebrities. I don't really care, but when it came to Hops, I cared. My palms were sweaty. I didn't know what to do. And then you got these piercing eyes, and you looked at me, and I'm like, "Whoa, just keep going.
just want to say thank you so much for being on the show. And I'm not going to fangirl out, but I just want to say it's a privilege and an honor to have you on the show. And we're going to talk about some scare acting training.
I get some weird moments like that because with the YouTube channel, I end up like I'm in people's living rooms. You know, I'm on their laptops.
Yes.
And they might see, you know, a couple 100 hours of my content, and they get to know me pretty well, but I don't know them. So then they sometimes will come up very familiar. Other times they'll come up like I'm a celebrity, but I'm not. I'm just a guy who likes scaring people.
The coolest guy. Like I've been to some workshops and seminars in the industry where you taught, and I and still didn't even get the courage, But hi, I'm Willie May, and but like I'm just so blessed and to have you. And one of the things I loved about your educating the industry is about the actors, the scare actors, because you started as a scare actor yourself in Florida, and you're with the most scariest attraction, just like what off the freeway was by a freeway, and it was like, tell us a little bit.
I worked at 2 in Florida. I actually started in Maryland and Pennsylvania and up north, and then as soon as I turned 18, I moved to Orlando, and that's where I worked at Terror on Church Street, which was downtown Orlando, right off I-4. It was a big booming market at that point in time. And then I worked at Skull Kingdom after that, which was another big show.
Now, Skull Kingdom, there was a lot going on there, but you guys were a family. And then when I don't know if it was the ticket sales dropped or just the management there, I don't know. I'm just speaking, assumptions wise, but you tried to save, and you guys kind of gathered around to kind of save that show.
What ended up happening is in Orlando, your attraction has to earn more than the land is worth, because anything right there in that attraction area, the cost of the land goes up. So if you have to work and make $3 million a year in order to do in the haunted house, but you have to work to do it, or you can sell it for $90 million, then that's what they normally end up doing, So the value of the land, it was the land it was on was too valuable for the business that it was.
Wow! Oh my goodness, you guys! If you guys are watching at home, listening on your computers or TVs or whatnot, please go into chat and start dropping your questions. Now we are going to be diving in to the good and the bad of scare acting, auditions, and training. We want to just really talk about it and get some help and education out there. We got the man, the legend here today, so do not miss your opportunity to drop those questions in so that we can talk. All right. Let's see here.
Something I love that I heard from that trailer. First, that trailer alone, just what I got to see with the actors and all that. I was saying, you said Texas. That's like a 16-hour drive for me trying to figure this out.
Because we got hot reviews now, Alan, so we may want to come through just to let you know.
I was doing on the map. I was trying to figure out how to get out there and stuff. I was like, I just got to fly out there. But here's what got me feeling good. Was the things you said was training and take care of the staff when you said there, how we take care of them. And that's something, especially my background, I work behavioral health, and that's something they push so far into your knowledge. It's like secondhand, at least in this field. And I think if that same aspect can be taken anywhere else, it's all about the training. I love that you said that, because that being haunts big. Yeah, you're going to step out, you're going to say boo or whatever. And you pop back in the thing, and I can't stay that.
Listen, listen, Troy, Alan's about to school you already, because you're not supposed to step out and say boo.
I'm not supposed to say boo.
Dude, you smoking today. He's on something, Alan. Just to let you know, fair warning.
In all honesty, I've been doing this for so long, you kind of have to look deeper at it than it is just a person jumping out. Because in all honesty, if you approach haunted attractions on their surface, scaring people in a haunt is kind of like a factory job. You're in the corner or you're in a hiding spot. A group comes by, you step out, you scare them, you go back. Every 6 seconds, you repeat that process. Or if it's, or every 30 seconds or whatever it is. that can be like a very factory job. And part of making that rewarding is understanding, what are some of those mental benefits that you're giving to the customer? What are some of the mental benefits that you can take away from it, where you can work on your own confidence? You can work on your, work on aspects of yourself that maybe you want to strengthen. How many people wish they were more like a predator in their daily life? And one of the great ways to do that is to work a haunted house.
You know that's so right, because let me just tell you, listen, Alan, I had an amazing team in California called Scream Team, and I think you kind of had a team called Scream Team too at one time. Was it copy? We just common interest, but anyways, we did it was in 2012 where I became executive creative producer of Blumhouse, and we did Blumhouse of Horrors in LA. But I took bits and pieces of training of yours and Drew's, and it kind of came up with mine and put kind of method acting training together, a pamphlet, and I wanted to explore that experience with my team, and I had a team of 30. Let me tell you, that process has turned me into a predator, into everything I had to get, to the point I was in Walmart. And I was pushing the cart. I had to grab something for haunt, and I saw this old lady. She didn't notice me. She had a view, like it was like a 2-dimensional haunt. And I turned that corner, and I was like, "This is my chance to get her." I'm in Walmart. Now, this was during haunt season in LA, and just the beast in me, the still beast in me, was coming out, and I couldn't like control it, and literally in the blink of an eye, I pounced on her and her cart to the point where I thought I was going to get maced in Walmart. With everything going on, no black man needs to scare no old white little woman in Walmart. I'm just going to be real. Let me tell you, baby, I apologize, and I really ran. I think I ran into like a dressing room, just shut the door, and just wait.
While I understand that, like that attitude of looking for the opportunity and going for it is kind of step one. But you got to remember what the Joker said.
What?
If you're good at something, you should get paid for it.
That's right. So, let's go, y'all. Nuggets from Alan. Nuggets from Alan Hobbs. Listen, so let me just say this. We're going to talk a little bit about two perspectives, the haunt owner and then the scare actor. Let's go to auditions first, okay? So auditions. From a perspective of a haunt owner, what steps should they take in order to get their audition out to the public? Let's talk about that.
Okay, so number one right now is on all of your social media content, you should have some kind of a little tag of Monsters Wanted or something along those lines, or, and tailor that little tag at the end or in the middle or wherever you put it in your social media commercials and posts and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And maybe starting next month, you do that like once a week. You tag something with, Monsters Wanted or whatever it is. I would say Monsters Wanted because I run a dark fantasy style show. You might want to say, Serial Killers Wanted or whatever it is that your show is. Make sure you, like, from the get-go, flavor that. Because even if customers see that who never intend on working there, they get an idea of what your show is about.
Right.
If you say Zombies Wanted, that's different from, Werewolves Wanted.
Right.
I know what the show is going to be about based upon just that little tag. And also you're going to be more likely to get people who are inclined for those type of characters. There are people out there who are zombie freaks. I want them to come to my show and play zombies. There are people out there who are werewolf freaks or clown freaks or whatever it is. And you want those style of people to come and do that job. You don't want to have a bunch of ducks come and then you got to put them in giraffe costumes. That doesn't work.
You preaching about that right now. I'm going to share with you guys my screen here of some ads too, as he's talking about these, so that we know the difference between a good a good post and a bad post as well, because we want to make sure that we survive. If you're surviving, I'm surviving. I believe that in our industry. And so some may put up a post that does not do anything, that doesn't really gravitate to anyone. And so we have the guru here to talk about these things and these snags that you can literally easily fix. And so what do you think about this here, Alan? This post here. It's very simple. You see that there's a scary person here.
It's very simple, and what I see from this advertisement, it tells me that they're going to hire anybody with a pulse. It seems to tell me that it's kind of generic. You know, they need help and they're casting a wide net.
Yep.
And sometimes you have to do that. You know, it's a casting call, which is basically a cattle call. That's what you're telling me.
What's so crazy about it? I seen their show, and this is a theme park, and it's. I'm gonna be straight honest. I'm not here to rag on anyone, but it's kind of lackluster, and because they're trying to grab as many people as they can, and in that process, they're not really filtering out who's best for what. And I'm just saying that from my experiences. Here's another one here, and it's just this is more specific, but
it's a little more specific, and I get a feel for what that show is.
Mhm.
You know, I get a little more of a feeling for what that show is. Everything there is kind of country related. I expect that to be outdoor.
Yep.
And then as an actor, I know that I'm going to be in that outdoor environment.
Yep.
One of the things that I do is I have these printed for a lot of my top people.
Okay.
And this says, "Let me make you a Monstar."
I love that. That's cool.
On the back is a QR code that takes them right to our hiring page. But I want to give this to people that I see out in the wild that I think would be a good actor for me. Maybe they're super tall. Maybe they are, maybe they move well.
Mhm.
Maybe they just have green hair. And if you're willing to stand out, then I can help train you to be an actor. But having something where I'm going to personally give this to you, I'll give away 500 of these before the season starts.
Wow.
And I'll get back 30, 35.
So this is like a business card. You probably do an order of 1,000, right?
Yeah, I mean, just reaching in, I've just got
Wow.
I got a ton here because I want to always have them on me, and I want my casting director to have them on them, because where we go are the people that we want are going to be there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's so true. And the thing is, you are a walking billboard, right? So even like sometimes I have my shirt on, and then, I've been to that hunt. Oh, have you? Yes, you guys are great. I love horror. I love all this. I love bloody. I would like to try to scare. Like, I mean, how many people go to an attraction and then you win them over and they come out saying, I want to do this. This is me. This is, they find their love, and you want to be able to have that card right there. Just like, there you go. Go ahead, scan it or just reach out to me. And that is so smart.
And it's personal.
It is personal. It is personal. Okay. All right, cool. All right, let's talk about the process for a haunt owner doing an audition. What is, like, if I'm a new haunt owner, go ahead, Gerard, what?
Yeah, what I want to say is, like, I mean, let's put this there. If you're, like, brand new, you're opening your first year haunt, let's say lower budget haunt, so you know how lower budget haunts, how are you going to get casting call out? How is your best way to cast that biggest nest you can? Nobody knows who you are to block. There's 2 or 3 other haunts in the area, and you're just trying to make it. How are you going to get that knowledge out to the public? What's your advice?
So, okay, I have to go bigger than just your casting call first off, because if you name your attraction something like haunted house, then that's going to be that's going to be super generic. You want to have something that makes you stand out. What amazes me about haunted attractions is that if you go through one that is well directed, then it is a reflection of the owner or that designer. And you see what they're into and you see what they're all about. And that's going to hook people who are similar. So when you are crafting your name, when you are crafting your commercials, you want to give them some personality. You want to give them something that people can hook into and bite into. Again, it goes back to that, werewolves wanted or whatever it is, because people are going to identify with it. If you go through a haunt that's super generic, it's like, yes, I generically like Halloween. I've generically gone to a haunted house. And that's going to be 90% of your customers in October. But there's going to be 10% who really identify with what you're doing, and they're going to come to everything that you do after that because you put a personality on it. You put a stamp on it. And a first year, it's tough because over the years, you train your audience. In my market, we have Cutting Edge. Cutting Edge is a great attraction. But if you go through Cutting Edge and you go through Dark Hour, you can see that we're trying to do different things. It's a very different show. It feels very different.
Yeah, it's been there for a while too. So yeah,
yeah, they've been there a long time. So, but they are the people who apply to work at Cutting Edge aren't the people who apply to work here because we have different goals, and we feature our performers in different ways. So, but that first year, getting out that first year, make sure that whatever ad you have has personality, and then boost it. I mean, most of the young people are not on Facebook the way that they used to be. Now it's TikTok. Now it's TikTok. It's a little bit of Instagram. Instagram is falling off a little bit, but a lot of that's because of the advertising that's on it. But Facebook is the easiest way to market because they have proven and tested tools. TikTok is going to get people interested in your brand who live in Hong Kong. And while that's good, I guess, they're not going to be able to come to your haunted house or work there.
Nope.
So, but have a good TikTok channel that shows you are current, that you allow some of your actors to work on and work with, and that has some personality to it. And allow your actors to mention your haunt and film in your haunt. Allow your actors to do that so that they're going to hook people too who are interested in things that they're interested in and bring them in. So it's about a lot of little hooks to catch all the fish that you can who have similar interests.
I love that you mentioned you're bringing this up because this is a good topic because a lot of haunt owners miss this one. And Gerard, also stay on the comments too because I'm like totally with Alan right here. But let me just say this: it's not only all the little hooks you guys got to make sure that you guys are hooking, but it's also keep that brand and keep the story very similar in a way, but yet engaging to that social media, that audience. You have Facebook for the adults. If you have a market where one of your ticket buyers are moms buying tickets for kids, then yes, Facebook. If they want to do some extra, high school credit, putting something like that on Facebook for them to really target that mom that's going to say, hey, son, you might want to do this because you're crazy, or to get to the millennials. That's me. We're on Instagram. We're buying stuff too. Then you got the TikToks, you got the high schoolers and the middle schoolers. You know your audience, know who you're talking to, and how you're going to use that approach. Now you did mention bringing your scare actors with their TikTok account. Listen, let me just say this. Warning to some haunt owners that don't know TikTok. And I'm going to be doing weekly social media trends and tips on this, guys. So watch out for it. But let me just say this. Do not give your account to your scare actor and just like, here you go and go.
Allow them to help. Don't just give it to them. No.
That's what he said. Allow them to help. So really, this is a mentorship. They're going to mentor you, and you're going to mentor them. You're going to work in tandem on coming out with some good content on TikTok. These social medias are now always evolving. They're changing. We know their lane now. They have distinctive differences in their lane. They're going to all breed differently. But algorithms and for TikTok and music and sound works for TikTok. I'm going to really dive deep on this, but Instagram is all about content posting, and posting at the right time. Facebook is the same thing, but they all have different audience. They all have different conversations. We need to pay attention to them, and as hot owners and marketers, so that we use the best and utilize the best platform to get what you need. But yeah, I love that you said that, Alan Hobbs. Woo! This is gonna be a good show. I mean, this is a good show. But I'm sorry, I'm just fanning out. But this is great. Go ahead, Gerard, with your next question.
I was reading the comments. I actually have something for from the audience. Where is it? Here it is.
I do. All right, go ahead.
Can we see AI being brought into the industry, and how can we use it? I know I've actually brought this discussion up with Willie, helping out with some of the script writing, I even tried on my Skip It or Ticket stuff, try to get them the right scripts. As you can tell, I haven't used it very well.
You're already seeing AI in the industry.
Yep.
You just don't recognize it.
Right.
Because the good AI right now is blending in. There's a number of popular haunted houses right now that I'm seeing their posts on social media, and I'm like, ChatGPT wrote that.
Yep.
There's a couple big ones that it's very clear. And while it's a good tool, you have to be careful of how you use it.
Yep.
Because you don't want your audience saying ChatGPT wrote that. It's still pretty new. What I use it for is every day when I come into work, I open up my mail, I open up Facebook, I open up my YouTube studio, and I open up ChatGPT because I use it for scripts all the time. I use it for letter writing. I use it for warnings and all that kind of stuff. But we did a show, we did a Dead by Dark Hour show, and almost every backstory, I gave a few sentences and it filled it out for the characters. And then I said, give me, write me 15 lines that these characters would say in a haunted attraction. And it spit that out. And then I can give that to my cast as suggestions. So
Hold up. Ding, ding, ding. Did y'all get the nuggets? Did you pick up the nuggets? He just dropped nuggets down. I mean, this is what technology is doing right now. And he's saying that he's literally using this, you guys, and it's doing the work. Why are you using this, Alan Hobbs?
Because it's fast. I can write scripts. I can get 20 example lines for Red Caps, which is a fictional goblin type monster, 20 script lines for leprechauns, 20 script lines for banshees, and I can get all of that done in an hour. And it's going and it's looking at historical reference, and I'm saying, can you make these more lore based? I could have my casting director do it. I could have someone who works with me do it. But I honestly, here's the hard part. I can't give them the real feedback because I don't want to hurt their feelings. I can go to ChatGPT and say, this isn't very funny. Can you make each one of these have a pun in it? Can you make all the leprechauns speak in rhyme? Can you, and whatever you ask it to do, it just does.
First of all, let me just say this. Yes, look, time is money. Money is time. Haunt owners are trying to figure out ways where they can have more time for their family, with their family, time to do things, time to go see a haunt, time to be creative, and you need to build these tools and understand these tools and how to work these tools to have time. First of all, and so time management is huge, and as a haunt owner. But let me just say this: for you to be in it's wow, because you are ahead of your time. And so when you see something, you're like, how can I make this work for me? And I love that about you. And you just inspired me to figure out things of my haunt audition, my haunt, because we have lines that we want the scare actor to say. But I'm sitting there before auditions, like, let me come up with this, or let me come up with this scenario. Chat, the AI could do it. And you're like, here you go.
And
that's
if it's
crazy.
not good, tweak it. And
Yes.
it'll remember what you asked it to do, and it remembers what you like, and then it spits out things that you like more often down the road. And so here's another way to use it. Let's bring it back to cast, not just casting, but I talk to my cast every day. I have a meeting before we open. I think after you close, everybody's tired and not really listening to you, and they want to get out of there. Why keep them till 1 a.m. when you can have it before you open?
Another one. Hold up. Pause. Save that thought. Pause. I see haunt owners do this all the time, and I tell them, don't do this. Do not hold your actor after they had a good show. Let them go. That's saying you did a good job. Do you guys understand, haunt owners? It is tiresome, especially the ones that have these major trails that are 5 miles long. Hello. And they are tired. They got trucked to see you say what? Mumbling words? No, stop it. Say what you got to say at the beginning, and at the end, let them go because they're tired, and that they appreciate that. But go ahead to what you were saying. I'm sorry.
You make your notes, and you give your notes from the night before that next day.
The next day.
They remember it, and they can act on it. Because whatever you tell them at the end, they can't act on because they're going home.
Yes, and they're not even thinking about it, you guys. Right. Not thinking about it. They want to go home. They want to eat their slice of pizza, go home. They want to go to Waffle House, IHOP, or Denny's, talk about their war rooms, laugh, and that's what they want to do. They don't want to hear you right now. So yes, and we say that with love because some haunt owners need to stop doing that. But go ahead, Alan.
So in that talk, why do people quit haunted houses? I want to figure that out. It's hard work. So it's hard physical work. So I can go into ChatGPT and I can say, what are the negative mental effects? And with these physical effects, what things can you do to counteract those? And then ChatGPT can give me notes for people's mental health so I have less people quitting. So I can hit the right notes when I'm talking to them to make them feel good about the things that they are getting from haunting, that they are getting from that physical work, every now and then, if you work in a, achievement unlocked, just saying those words, achievement unlocked, it's a video game reference, but when you hear that, you feel like you've accomplished something. So if, hey guys, we had a record night last night, achievement unlocked. Just by saying those 2 words, you're triggering this whole group of people to feel like they accomplished something. And that's a mental positive nugget. And the more things you have on the mental positive side, the more likely your casts are going to stay.
Listen up, you guys. This is real talk. Look, I just graduated from Full Sail, got my bachelor's of entertainment at Full Sail, and I know how to take notes. As you were talking, I had my pen. I was like writing. I was like trying to find paper to write what you were saying down, but I forgot that this is being all recorded. I just could go back and just watch it again. But let me just say this: you are talking real stuff. I want to move because we got a lot to talk about. I want to move to the. Go ahead, Gerard.
Yeah, we can move it along. So we talked about how we're going to get them out there. We talked about how to help you write the cat call with the AI. We talked about even doing a lower budget haunt, how to get them out there. Now there's people showing up. What should actors expect? What do you expect your actors to show up to? Would you make your own spin?
The question, yes, layouts of your audition hall. Let's talk about that.
All right. So I think that the last thing you want to do is overwhelm them. So I try to have 2 people sitting in on every actor audition. If you have 5 or 6 people there, then that's a firing squad. That's not an audition crew, So audition them, 2 or 3 actors at a time. Take 2 or 3, so they're not alone. You have 2 people sitting at the table, and one person's going to perform at a time, but they can learn from each other's mistakes that way. And like I said, do 3 people and let the first one go again. They get to go that 4th time.
This is good, Alex. So here we are. So we have 2 people at the table. Why 2 people at the table, Alan?
In order to eliminate bias. You're going to have some people are going to think that all that they want to hire is an 18-year-old male and people who act the most like 18-year-old males. I know that's a little bit weird. I found when I was designing haunted houses, I was designing every room for a while there. I was designing every room as if an 18-year-old male was working it, and I had to fix that. And then I had to include other body types, include, other not genders, but at least, the way that people put themselves forward, and include all of that in my design in the first place, so that when it came to casting, I wasn't stuck, because 60% of my actors are female. Why is my haunt not performing as well as it should? Because I designed it all to be run by an 18-year-old male, every single room. So just by designing all of these roles into different, to work for different actor personalities and physical appearances, I'm going to get a better show. But so to eliminate bias, that was a very long way to a very short answer.
Does having two players at the table also decrease imitating factors? Maybe having too many people there will make that scare actor more nervous. And then bringing it down to two also allows them to be more personable and to, they can see and be seen. Do you think that's also a factor?
Absolutely. I think you don't want to crowd that room with people. I wouldn't go any more than three. Three gives you a nice tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to label everybody a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. 5 being the best. They're ready. I can throw them in the show right now and they'd be amazing. 4 is they're on the cusp. Certain roles they'll be amazing at right off the bat without even any training. 3, I think they're trainable and I can put them somewhere in the show. 2s, minimal effort, and maybe they're too shy, maybe whatever it is, something is really holding them back. Or they just said some things that were ignorant and I can't trust them, in front of customers. And a number 1 is I just don't want them in my show. When you, at the end of the day, you have all these piles. You have a pile of 1s, pile of 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. Take your piles of 1s and 2s, throw them out. I don't care that you need people. You should take people who are going to be better and good for your show, as opposed to filling it with people who you didn't think were good in the first place. That's why you rank them a 1 or a 2. You can't keep putting them in your show and then expect it to be better.
Because some people they need people, and so that desperation makes kind of bad calls, right? I mean, let's keep it real. So you categorize your person. So when it comes to auditions, do you have one of these? This is like an audition form that we're looking at. That
do something like that, yeah.
Okay. And then you can categorize it that way, or you can do what Alan is talking about, which is kind of reading their personality, reading how they act, how they respond, and then putting them in these numbers rates, and then get rid of your 1s and 2s.
Don't use them. Now you can invite them to trainings throughout the year. I'm not going to hire you because you're not where I want my show to be right now, and you have to be honest with them. You have to tell them that. I'm not hiring you because you're not giving me what I need. You're not showing me enough. So I'm going to allow you to come to all of our off-season trainings. You can come to the off-season actor trainings, and that's a chance for you to show me if you really want to work here. But I'm not going to put you in the show if I don't want you working here. And right now I don't. So let me give you my whole audition process because it's fast.
Yes, let's go.
Fast. They come in, I ask them a couple questions. Why do you want to work at a haunted house? And they'll tell you. Why do you want to work at this haunted house? I take a lot less weight if the first thing they say is, well, I just, I want something that's going to pay me something. And I think Wendy's will be better for you. Give that a shot. And sometimes I'll say that right off the bat. Because
I'm going to say this. I'm sorry to interrupt, but you're building a standard for yourself. You're saying, "Hey, this is what it is. If you don't reach it, look, this is not for you." I love it. Go ahead.
So that's the first thing. Why? And then why do you want to work at this haunted house? I have 5 big haunts in my market. Why did you come here? And that is going to tell me how I can work with that actor in the future to get them what they want.
Because I got fired from the other 4.
Well, and if that's the answer, I may still give them a shot. You never know. But so, why do you want to come work at this one? And then it's very simple. I want you to get up, and the room's about 20 feet. Get on that side of the room, and I want you to walk across the room from one side to the other as if you were a zombie. As if you were a zombie in a haunted house, walk from that side to that side.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see what they do creatively with it. You'll probably have to remind them, hey, it's not a silent movie. Go ahead and make some noise, because what you're doing then is, and try and get them to change the noise they're making. Can you go more of a low moan or a death rattle? Because you're just seeing if they take direction. Will they take direction? If you don't give them any direction, then you don't know if they take direction. So go from one side of the room as if you were a zombie. Okay, great. Now I want you to go, because that's a slow roll. People who are older, infirmed, have 1 foot, whatever, can do that. And then it's move from that side of the room to the other side of the room as if you were a werewolf. And then again, give them direction on that performance. But now that's a more of a physical role. A werewolf's movement, body language, style of attack is in line with a lot of different things. A zombie's movement, style of attack is in line with a lot of. I get those 2 bases and I'm good to go. Now I want to see their creativity. So that third pass, I want you to walk from that side of the room to that side of the room as if you were a ballerina that just got hit by a school bus. Because then I'm going to see what they think. Can they think on the spot? Can they process that and move from one side to the other and give me something? Sometimes that just shuts them down. I got.
You need to know those. You need to know the ones that cannot rise or cannot think off the top of their on their feet. Because then if the ones that are thinking on their feet, they're going to be your line cues. They're going to be the ones that can do a 3-dimensional scare and not be into an attraction or give a story. You know what I mean? Are you guys picking up what he's saying? He literally would give them direction just to see if they could take direction.
Yeah. Will they alter what they're doing based upon what the director, says? That's what I want to know. Then the last thing that I have them do is I say, I want you to say to me in the scariest way that you can think of, I'm going to stab you in the face. And sometimes they will shout it. Sometimes they will whisper it. Every now and then you get one that walks over the light switch and turns off the lights and then says it really quiet,
I love that one.
My absolute favorite is I said, can you say to me in the scariest way possible, I want to stab you in the face? And they said, okay. And they shook my hand and they left. And I was like, they were doing great. Why didn't they finish the audition? And then my phone rang.
I'm out of here.
I answered the phone. I answered the phone, and they said, I'm going to stab you in the face. I'm like, get back in here. Let me hire you. Get back in here. Yeah.
Stop. It was great.
And you have to phrase it in the scariest way that you can think of.
I got to piss. I pissed myself.
You're giving them freedom. You're giving them a chance to direct themselves. What do they think is scary?
Oh, this is so good. First of all,
that's my audition process. That's it.
Do you give out your number?
The card.
Not normally, but anybody running outside is going to have my phone number. Occasionally, I might set up the auditions and interviews myself, and they might have my number from that. But
that's the point. The point is that they are thinking creativity. Like, okay, first of all, if I'm auditioning for Alan Hops, he's been in the game. How can I make an impression on him so well that he will hire me? Do you understand? There are some smart actors out there, and when you give them a chance, an opportunity, which he's talking about, to see what they can do, I mean, but I mean, you don't get all of them. You don't get a lot of them, but you get some of them, and that's a winner to me. Oh my gosh, that's a winner to me. Wow. Okay.
I could just see it like, hello, yeah, yeah. Come in here, I'm gonna hire you, and then I'm gonna change my number. Okay, you
Right, yeah.
Just dude, Ali, you like I feel fed. I feel full already, and we're not even done. Listen, so what if you get the actor or the applicant? I'm going to say the candidate that says, "Hey, Mr. Hops, I got this cool mask I bought from CFX for a more mask. I spent $700 on it. Look at it, yeah. And then here's this costume that I bought as well. I'm ready to be your scare actor." What do you do with those?
So at our haunt, we provide all of the masks and costumes, and we do the makeup for 99%. I do try to get my performers to create their own characters within our world. That's the important part, is within the world that we created for Dark Hour. I want them to make their own characters that fit in with that world. And they have a lot of avenues, a lot of hooks that they can hook into and make their character relevant in the Dark Hour world. But right off the bat, I will have a hard time. You're actually harder to hire at that point, because whatever training you have, I'm probably going to have to untrain you before I can retrain you. And you obviously have things set in your mind a way that they want them to be. If every actor picks their own costume and their own mask and their own makeup, who's directing my show?
Woo!
It's not me.
You are saying it, okay? Because there are some haunt owners that say, "Hey, do whatever you want. Just create your own room, and we'll, and maybe that works." But culture that you have to understand as a haunt owner or a director is that you are creating the fear. You are essentially creating the fear yourself, and so when that happens, you have to kind of direct and steer the ship. There is only one captain. Yeah. You understand what I'm trying to say? And there's not 30 actors steering the ship. And I think these haunt owners kind of forget that they have, like, hey, yes, I know you got to paint that wall. I know you got to put out that post and boost it. I know you got, but listen, at the end of the day, this is where you got, look, 365 days out of the year. Fix your show. Understand what direction you're going at before you add the other layer of scare actors or creatives in, where they start putting their own twist and tips in. Because I'm sure you take feedback and you have a creative process with your team, but you don't necessarily have to give them everything, right?
No, when I had a much smaller show, we did a show that was Trail of Terror for a while. It was Terra del Monstrum for a while. And we would rotate our theme every 5 years. And one of the themes was Frozen with Fear. It was kind of a Yeti-based haunted house, but it was all ice monsters. It was all ice creatures and stuff. And every year I'd put out, we only had like 15 actors, but I would put out like 40 characters. And it's just a name, you can be any one of these characters. You pick one, and then I'll make the costume for you. We'll develop it together. And then it's going to fit in the world. But there's a list they pick from. Every year I put down that we did Frozen with Fear, I put down a were-penguin. Nobody ever picked a were-penguin, but it was always on the list because I wanted to see it.
Love it. We have a question here. Do you give direction or limitations on what their characters should be?
Absolutely. Otherwise, I would not be directing. I have established the world that character goes in. I want their characters to be related to one of my 13 witches that are in the Dark Hour Coven some way. Every witch has 3 types of minions, so let's just say Baba Lupina is the mother of werewolves. She's a traveler type person. We don't use the term gypsies anymore, but that mindset, we use the term Zagani. And that's one from a horror novel, and I like that better. But so then you can be a werewolf, you can be one of the Zagani, or you can be a wolf man, which is the wolf men are tortured, they're cursed. They turn into one and kill the ones they love. That's why it's wolf man. But a werewolf embraces it. and they're super happy to be going around killing people and whatnot. And then the Zagani, you know, they can be like assassiny and thiefy and that kind of that style of character.
Ethan Kirk says, I love the backstories. Yes, it's good.
And
Good talk.
that's one witch, and you've got those options, you know. And how transformed is your werewolf? They could be, you know, a person who we know is a werewolf, you know, and they've only maybe transformed their hands and claws. They've got teeth, so it's a very light transformation, you know. But so you have all kinds of options. And then there's also just generic characters that generically work for the coven. So the Dark Hour Coven works with all witches. There's one character here who what they do in the story is they go out and they steal the bodies of witches that were burned at the stake. They steal their bodies and bring them back and bury them in our graveyard.
Woo!
So like, but that's a little bit deep. How is that character scary? That's not a nugget you're going to tell every customer.
Oh,
but that explains why he's got a shovel. That explains, you know, those kind of things.
The intentions, the purpose. Each character at your haunt should have an intention behind what he does or what she does, and a purpose why it exists. Do you understand? So with backstory that Alan is saying here, he's giving them some meat so that they can build off of.
I say that in order to be a character, it has to have a physicality, a vocality, and vocality, and a motivation. Why is it doing what it's doing? You know, that's the word that you have to explain the most, motivation. But it's, what does your character want? What are they thinking about? And then you have to have the actor separated from that character enough to steer it. Because, you know, if your character is a pickle maker, then what your character's thinking about is making pickles.
Right.
And that's not going to be good for the customer. So you have to steer that pickle maker into people and make
right. That's that customer loves some pickles. See, I love some pickles. You know what I mean? So if you had a pickle maker, I'd be like, where the pickles come from? I really want to give a shout out to Facebook group Scare Actors Auditions, because they created this amazing how to create an effective posting job. And so if you guys are a haunt owner and you guys want to learn how to post, make a job posting and make it, you know, where it's informational and people can come to and get, that is a way to do that. You can go to that Facebook group at Scare Actors Auditions and then get that information. They went ahead and put that together for you guys, but I just want to give a shout out to them on that one. But I want to talk about, Alan, where did you go? Did you go somewhere? Alan. Okay, so while Alan, I think his internet probably dropped.
So while you're fixing that, I just want to remind everybody to do the right thing today. Today is Mother's Day. Call your mom that are in your life. Call the mom, even some of the mom figures in your life. This is the day for all people in that situation. And make sure to offer your pickle to those local single moms in your area.
Oh my gosh, you get on my nerve. You get on my nerve.
That's I just come back to.
This is what I do on a daily basis, Alan, I swear. Okay, so we got you back here. Look, I want to talk about the Scare Actors perspective on auditions real quick before we go to training. But I have this here. This is a tips that we kind of did for Scare Actors, and I want to talk about it with you. Do you think that the Scare Actors, and you guys go to that group again to get this PDF, you guys can share this with your group, you can share this with your Scare Actors, but there's 10 tips of being successful, and one of them says look presentable. Do you think that this is something that you have a problem with, or you know, you got some haunts or some haunt actors that just feel like they just, let me just roll out of bed and just show up? Do you think they should be presentable?
Yes. But I also think you should have your show in mind. You know, there are different shows out there and they have a different mindset. My show is a certain way and I don't have that problem because I've already projected what I want from them before they ever got here. So I don't necessarily have that issue. And if I do, then it's someone who's way out of left field and they weren't going to make it here anyway.
And they don't know the culture. They don't know the environment. So, and some people you may get those, and you're like, okay, it's totally fine. We're gonna make sure you understand what this culture is about. But 100%, you want your scare actors to look presentable when they show up to work, because that shows that they care.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I don't want them to smell bad while they're working either. So that's an indicator, you know, at that audition, you know, does this person use deodorant? That's a biggie.
Yeah, we don't want that stuff that you
But that's being
now at your
right?
costumes.
Go ahead, Gerard. I'm done talking. I'm jumping on you.
You can't get those smell at your costumes. Like that's a big key, you know. I'm gonna write smelly on the list if it's like that, you know.
Yeah.
That's a note you're gonna make. Yeah.
Yeah, and go ahead. Ask your question.
I want to ask this. Maybe I stepped out the room for to use the restroom real quick. I about pissed myself laughing for a moment. Here's the thing. I've heard some haunt owners say yes to this. I've heard some haunt owners say no to this. So there's a big 50-50, I feel like. Do you have to show your haunt off during auditions? Do you go and give a big grand tour of the facility? Or is it just straight up, let's do the auditions? What is your opinion of that?
I don't do that unless I'm actually hiring them. And I'll probably do that at the first training event as opposed to at auditions.
Well,
because I want my staff concerned with, I want my staff to be concerned with getting the right people as opposed to, you know, showing them through the haunt, making sure that no one gets lost, making sure that, you know, trying to keep all these ducklings going through. I would rather them at my training event, I have lights and sound on, and we walk through with lights and sound on at the training event. And then we'll walk through again with lights and sound off so that the show is brightly lit and they can see all the backstage hiding spots and whatnot. But I let them get the customer's perspective of show lights, show sound, and then, you know, none of that so that I can instruct them in those areas.
So this says auditions are coming, and I don't know what to do. Don't freak out and don't say boo. You got this. So first of all, the second question here says know exactly where you are going and show up 30 minutes early before appointed time. Is this another? I mean, this is another good tip, right, Alan? I mean, have you found ways, or have you heard of characters passing by their audition, or maybe a sign's not out and they don't know?
A lot of times haunts are not easy to find, or the way in for auditions is not the normal guest way in, you know. Well, auditions are all in the back of the building. Well, I don't know that. You know, I just showed up where GPS told me, and I'm at your front door, and now I've got to go around this warehouse-looking building in a sketchy neighborhood and figure out where to go. So
right.
But that's on the haunted house too. They've got to be very clear. If the haunt isn't clear, that's the only reason why you need that.
Right.
You know, I want them to show up 10 minutes early. I don't want 30 minutes early because I may not have the doors open because I'm still prepping things or whatever. You know.
Gotcha. Come prepared with legal documents and necessary paperwork and have a pen handy.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah, I think so too. Pay attention and follow directions. This is huge because it shows that can you take direction, can you listen? And some scare actors, again, they come in with already a thought in mind, and they're like, hey, you know, I'm here, like the guy who has an expensive clown costume. I'm a clown. Let's go. Well, my haunt doesn't have any clowns. So, but again, can they take direction? Be friendly. Leave the ugly looks and scary demeanors for the audition and haunt only. Let's talk about that. Do we feel as though that there's people being ugly at auditions?
So here's the kicker. If you are friendly to everyone and you are positive the whole time that you're there, I know you can act because nobody does that. You know?
Let's go, Alan. You preach it. You preach it.
Positive the whole time and you're nice to everybody, that's going to show through, and I'll know, oh, that person can act. Because
that's a Terry Crews approach.
I know how easy it is for some of the folks who are here to piss people off.
You know it.
if you just go right through it and you're smiling and you take all that direction with a grain of salt and you're happy and you're excited to be there, that's my takeaway. That person can act. That person knows how to portray the right emotions at the right time.
Okay.
Exactly.
That I love it.
And I love that aspect because you got to have people who are positive in all manners throughout the haunt. Because we know how it's all. We know at some point, like, man, this mask is not fitting good, and I am sweating, and it's sliding, a little sweat in my eyes, and these patrons keep coming through. Can we just get like a fire? But you got to stick through. You got to stay in that moment, the excitement, the go, that exhilarating move, and you got to keep going through it. So I love that you mentioned that, because if you can stay positive through everything, forget about it. You got it.
And
go ahead.
I do not want to expend the energy of making the other 100 people in the room work around your personality that you've decided to have. That's a pisser.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You have the right to be a pisser. You have the right to be a downer. You have the right to be negative. But you're not going to do it at my haunt. Because I am responsible for the 150 people that are here for how their day is.
Let's go.
The first people that are seen by your staff are normally the makeup artists. Your makeup artist should be super positive and in a great mood. One pissed off makeup artist does the makeup of 15 people. Then you have 16 pissed off people in your haunt before you even open. And it's a cancer.
Okay, let's talk about that. Hold on, guys. Pause. Let's put a pin in that. And this is because we're spirit beings. Okay, let's just go there for a second. If I'm upset because my bills are due and this, that, that, and my boyfriend or girlfriend cheated on me, blah, 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 and I go to dark hour to do makeup, and I come with the energy. And the more I sit in the presence of the other actor doing their makeup, my energy can get and be felt, because we're human beings. We have spirits, and it can jump off and be on them. And that can continue. So if I'm doing 16 or 15, faces and actors, their vibration, their feelings can alter. This is true, and sometimes you need to kind of communicate that, like, to your team, like, no, we cannot act like this. We cannot be. Look, I went to a haunt, and I went to a haunt, and they were so nasty and rude and very touchy. That's the culture that was created underneath that name, that house, that organization. Do you guys understand that? Then I went to another haunt. It was Netherworld, and I had so much fun, and it was professional, and it was safe, and it was, how can we make you better, and how can we make you safe? Do you guys understand? The culture you create starts from the head down.
Yep.
And
I can't have a bad day.
Nope.
If I have a bad day and I'm pissed off and I'm talking to him at the beginning of the day, I've flavored everybody. You're not going to have a good night. I have to be positive. I have to be upbeat. I've got to fake it. I've got to act. I'm asking them to act. Why shouldn't I? But it's huge. It's a big deal. I send people home. Well, I've just had a bad day. I'm in a bad mood. Okay, go on home. Because I'm asking everybody to go into a set where it's dark, there's loud pounding music, it's not comfortable to be in. I don't want them to be around someone who sucks to be around. So in between groups, in between people, I want you to be positive. I need you to be up. Every actor in my haunt is an energy ambassador.
Yeah.
Their job is to give energy to the people around them. That's what I ask them to do. And if you can't do that because you're in a bad mood, this is not your night. Come back later. Take care of you, but you're not going to hurt the folks that are already here.
And let me just say this. I guys, I do scream and yell in the mic. I do sorry. I am sorry that it gets hot. I just turned myself down because I get so emotional. This is my love. This is my passion.
And it's always good to hear someone say something or in agreement with you, and you thought like I was the only one that thought this. No, and so I get really excited and passionate behind it. And Alan is speaking my language right now, so I do apologize if I'm so hot. But like, he is talking truth right now, and I hope we're picking this up. I hope this video surpass not only just the ones that are here watching, but it's going to the theme parks that need to understand how their culture is, and they're not because they're just in it, and they need to like have a step back and kind of realize that. I'm gonna run down to this list real quick because we want to go to training real quick. I know there's people that want some training questions, but give it actively. Oh, okay. It says the next thing is actively listen carefully as you audition. Actively listen carefully as you audition. What do you think about that?
Oh, that's super important. Active listening is the number one trait that makes people like you. If you meet someone for the first time, mirroring what they say by just repeating those last couple words and making a note on that and then nodding as they talk, those things, that person is more likely to rate you as a positive, favorable person than someone who just listened. I could just listen and focus and stare, but they're not going to like you as much. And honestly, an audition, it's making people like you. That's why you're there. Yes, that's why you're there.
Yes. Give it your all and have fun, of course, but say thank you for the opportunity and be grateful for the experience. Do you see that happens a lot? Or no?
Okay. So I'm going to be careful with this one.
Okay.
If you think it was an opportunity and you are grateful, then say thank you. If, pardon my language, and I don't cuss a lot, but if the audition was a shit show and they're not organized and they don't have their crap together enough to tell you what they want, or there's no director or leadership present at an audition, you don't have to thank them. What you could do is you could say, do you think this went well? I'm a person who came into audition, but now I'm seeing that I might possibly have something to offer you in a organizational faculty.
Wow. Big.
There might be something that I could do for you in a morale faculty. I've seen a home for myself here. I don't know that it's this, but these are things that as an outsider, you guys should work on a bit. I came to auditions on time. You started 45 minutes late. The people who held the audition had a bad day and they were mean.
And there's that, guys. You look, sometimes when people say the truth hurts, and it's how you take it. And let me just say this, look, I had someone come up to me and say, hey, we didn't do this, and normally, a casting director would do this, and it made me open my eyes and realize that, hey, I may be missing something here, and that was good. And you don't have to hop on someone negatively because they're saying the truth, because that's their perspective and that's what they walked into. And so, and someone that's auditioning, maybe, hey, look, this is a lackluster organization. Maybe they need me to be in this shoes and this role to bring it up because I believe in this. That is huge. That is huge. Thank you for saying that.
And the active listening, that's on both sides.
Yep.
I have to, as a casting director or as whatever my role is, I have to look at this group of people. And if they're bored and they're playing on their phone and they are bored in my audition process instead of excited, then I have to listen to their body language and what they're doing, and I have to make some adjustments. I've got to change some things. Maybe the group that's waiting, I have someone leading improv games, and they're just doing fun improv warm-up games in that big giant corral area before they're called out. There's a lot of things that you could do in order to fix that if your energy is wrong. But you have to actively listen to what the energy is in that room of people who are waiting to audition and make adjustments.
Yes. The other two is make sure you get all the needed information to follow up with the HR staff, which that is true, or owner, and then have a great day. Walk away from it feeling good, feeling positive, or feel like there was a takeaway or a give. But yeah, what did you think?
Here's a secret. Haunt owners don't want to hire you. They want to paint their haunt. They want to decorate rooms. They want to get money from customers. Hiring you is work. And they don't want to do that. They need to do that, but they don't want to. So I am much more likely to hire the actor who sends me an email every 4 days.
Wow.
A courteous email every 4 days. Not demanding, not just a reminder. I really want to work there. I know you're busy. If I can get a call back or just tell me when to show up, I'm more than happy to do it. Send that email every 4 days. Because they're going to tell you, and then they'll stop getting that email.
I love that you said that because it was so funny because once this kind of PDF tips were made, we sent it to Spencer Terry over at the Haunted House Association, and he looked at it. He goes, "Well, maybe another tip that you should say is drop a memo or a call, a follow up. Tell, hey, thank you for this, but hey, I'm following up," and it kind of makes you stand out.
Well, and things change in haunts very rapidly, and you're not going to stop the middle of your day prepping to open to go look at emails. You're going to do that at the end of the night, and people fall through the cracks all the time. All the time you hear about people who wanted to work at a haunted house and didn't get to because no one got back to them.
Wow.
If you want to work at a haunted house, you kind of have to chase it down. That's what's worth it. The job is meat. The job is joy and life. But you have to chase that antelope. It's not going to fall dead at your feet. And the one that does, you don't want because it's sick.
You're preaching to my soul right now because let me just tell you this. There's a I do acting and when I do theater and stuff like that, been off Broadway and all that stuff. But they're now being in Atlanta. Moved to Atlanta, Georgia. I don't know how to get into the theater scene. And I found out that they all gather and they have like this huge year, like once a year audition collectively, all the theater groups. And they pick and choose who they want and they fight over that for the whole season. And I was like, ew, that's weird because in California, we don't do that. I could just jump from this theater group to the next theater group and I could plan and manage my own schedule that way if I get in or get out. And you just said something there that really struck my heart, and it was like chase after it. And just because it's not from that, I'm not used to that way of doing, doesn't mean I shouldn't chase after that and figure out when their yearly auditions are. I don't like that, so I'm not going to even go. And then they're doing all these shows, and I'm like, man, I would be great at that, And so, you guys, if you guys really want it bad enough, chase after that, figure it out, adapt, change. Because just because they don't do it the way they do it in California, it doesn't mean I can't change and adapt for it in Georgia. So you just, you guys, I may look. Someone just came in and said, "That's right." Look, I may start crying on that one. Wow. Woo.
I want to say something else that contradicts something that I said earlier, because both are true. Okay. All right. There's a saying that if they don't want you to eat at their table, build your own table. And the haunt equivalent to that is there are many, many haunted houses out there who don't have an Alan Hops. They don't have a Willie. They don't have the people who are directors. And what you can do in that case is then you can develop a persona, use it on social media, develop a following, and then those haunts that are kind of directionless will probably reach out to you and say, "Hey, you're doing cool things. You have a bit of an audience, and I would like you at my show."
Right.
And that is one way to do it. It's not going to be me. I'm not going to reach out to you. The big haunts aren't going to do it that way. But the smaller and medium haunts will do it that way. If what's important to you is feeling like a star, then that's one way to do it.
Right.
If what's important to you is, I want my group to be, we're part of a team. Dark Hour is collectively going to get better and better and better. You are part of this grand story that we're telling.
Yes.
That's what I want at Dark Hour. And, I don't think any actor from Dark Hour has a problem getting a job at any other haunted house. It's a feather in the cap. It's not a negative. And that because we're all part of something. Let's do something better. Let's do something the right way, and let's all do it together. And having that mindset and that culture, and let's take care of each other along the way is another big part of it.
You're saying something that strikes my core, and I'm trying not to get emotional because I've been. Whew.
But the other way is there are a lot of haunt actor personalities who then haunts with not as solid of a direction. They might reach out and say, "Would you come be at our haunt? We want your energy. We want what you're putting out."
Okay, we'll be back after these messages because I gotta get off the screen. You're saying so much truth here, and it's really striking a core because I've been from so many positions and I've seen it, and we want to support everyone. We want to make sure that you guys are your takeaways are being the best that you can be. Not just from a scare actor's point of view, but from a haunt owner's point of view, and it's growth. It's growing pains. And we just got to understand that and just shoot for it. But you're saying so much, and I'm so grateful to have you on the show. Woo. Okay, get yourself together, Will. All right. So go ahead, Gerard. Ask the question. Let's move to a scare actor training because, man, this is crazy. I'm getting fed, you guys, and I'm okay with that. Okay, so if I look like crazy, I don't care if I look.
Sure.
Go ahead, Gerard. Oh, and I do apologize for the technical difficulties. I don't know why our platform is kicking everyone out. Alan House got kicked out. I got kicked out, and then and Gerard is getting kicked out. We don't know why, but we're not trying to be distractions. It's just that's what's happening. I don't know if the Wi-Fi is doing that. It's weird, but see, Gerard is out now. But I want to talk about this. There is an actors training guide that you guys can get at the group's page here. If you guys go to, again, I'm just going to put the link up here. Facebook groups, actors auditions. This was provided by Brian Foreman, and you're in this pamphlet. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
The actors. You guys can go to this site, go to files, and grab this. This is a free tool page that Hunter's Toolbox created. And we're so blessed that they put it on here. But let's talk about auditions, training. Let's talk about training, shall we? So, training. Let's talk. We talked about the process about it of how you do your auditions. What's the process of your training like?
So I do a lot of the training is really evaluation. I'm going to evaluate them for what I think is best. There's one great exercise that I do. It's called cover ground. And that exercise, it only takes about 15, 20 minutes to do. But in it, you give them a space that's way bigger than the amount of people that you have. And you say, you have to keep moving. And I want you to cover as much of this floor as possible by moving across it or moving on it. Cover as much ground as you possibly can at all times. And I'm going to let this run for 5 minutes. And I'm going to say, this area is open. This area hasn't been covered at all. And then I'll watch this cast, mob, move, shift, or whatever. But what I'm really looking for in that exercise is you're going to have some people who get as big as they can and move through space. And you're going to have some people who are like squirrels, and they are getting in behind those people, and they're covering ground that's empty until someone who's moving through space comes along, and then they'll move to another open spot. Well, that tells you how they're going to act.
Okay.
What are you going to say?
Well, I was going to say the ones that are moving in huge in space, are those your distractions? Are those your scares that are just going to be distractions? They're going to be big, bold. Are those your stories?
They're going to be bold, and they're going to be able to be in a room and charge people. You know,
Got it.
They're going to be able to charge people. They're going to be able to take up space, get looked at, and I have your attention, and now I'm coming at you. Whereas on the person who's filling in those holes and those gaps, those are going to be the people who get good hide scares. They're going to pop out of curtains. They're going to be good at drop panels. They're going to be good at those things where there's a space that they're going to occupy quickly and then move on. And that's where they can shine. And it's knowing how to fit people's personality into, you know, what they're doing.
Okay, question. All right. What is the personality of a puppeteer? I'm so sorry. I just got to ask this because I have a hard time casting someone as a puppet. Because I'm like, well, you're great. You have your ones and twos, and you don't want to cast your ones and twos, right? So how do you cast?
I don't want a 1 or 2 on a puppet. I still want a 3 or 4 on a puppet.
Okay, because
right.
Animation.
Think about a big costume. There are some actors who you put them in a big costume and they can't act past it. It shuts them down. It shuts them down. In order to work a puppet well, you have to act past and through the puppet.
Right.
You have to make that an extension of you. So if you have that kind of energy to drive through that puppet, like that's what I want. Because the puppets are normally in a spot, like I'll give those stations all radios. Every puppet has a radio. So I don't want someone who is a slug, with the radio. I don't want someone who is a slug on a puppet. I want someone who is energetic and has some life to them, because they have to give life to an inanimate pile of rubber.
There it is.
So put some of your best people on puppets, because you also have the issue where you have to fight the I'm a rock star syndrome, where they think they're in the limelight, but the limelight and the life and the heart is the puppets. It's the drop panels. That's not poison. That's not bad. That's not a punishment role.
Right.
Those are big spots,
Yes.
know.
Right.
But also have a puppet league. Say, this is my puppet team, and you have to fight to get a spot on the puppet team.
I like that.
Are you training your puppeteers? You're probably not, because if you were, then when you have regular actor trainings, have a puppeteer training too, where it's, I want you to do a scary skit with this sheet. This sheet is over top of you the whole time. Don't be a sheet ghost. You have to make it into something else. Do something different, and give them some kind of a fuel to light a fire in them for puppetry.
Yeah.
Because puppets are amazing. They're the lowest training window that you can do to have a marvelous effect in your show. You can have a giant monster on stilts, but then you have to train the actor on stilts, and you have to have some liability there.
Yep.
The puppet, way less liability, just as big of an impact. So those are things that you kind of have to consider.
We see it at an attraction. The attraction has rooms, doors, and we have nooks, peekaboos, boo holes. And how do you explain to a scare actor that they're not the show? We're talking about that ego, that really the monster, the scare actor down at the first room is so important for the last one. Like, you know what I mean? At the last one to give the scare at the end. They all have to know that they have some type of importance, and they all have to know that they make up the show. How do we talk to the one that is very egotistical, that rock star syndrome, to let them know, like, hey, it's not just about you, it's about this? How do we tell the whole scare actors? I'm speaking different questions here, but I'm sure
you should never have to tell an actor it's not all about you.
Okay.
If you're there, you've already failed, or their parents have failed, and you have to work past that. So what you have to do is, instead of trying to knock down anybody who has a great opinion of themselves, bring up everybody else.
Wow.
Bring up everybody else. I would rather go to that performer who is full of themselves and ego-driven and say, listen, one of the things that I admire about you is that you have a very high opinion of yourself. Mm-hmm. What I want you to do is I want you to help me bring up everybody else who doesn't have the same positive feelings about themselves. whether that is every day saying hello to them, every day giving some kind of positive note about their performance. Whatever you can do, I want you to mine for good.
I'm writing this
Get a
down.
pickaxe, go in there, and it's a dark, dank mine, and you've got to pick away and find something good. And you find that good thing, and you double it, and you double it, and you double it. And then you've got 50 people with high opinions of themselves who are saying and singing the praises of the 30 people who have low self-esteem or issues. Because in all honesty, if you can give me a sense of your character and a sense of what's going on, and the only time we interact with you is through a hole this big, and I only see your left arm, that's acting. That's positive. Who was the star of the last Wednesday movie? The Thing. He stole every show, and he was a freaking hand.
Every moment. Yep.
If that does not elevate to you and point out how important the boo holes are and the small spots in the haunt, that it's massive. It's massive. The impact that you can have is huge, but you have to decide to have that impact. You have to mind for good and find the positive things in what you're doing and get that across to people.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
if you have to have an amazing costume and you have to use your voice and you have to be on a mic and you have to have a stage and be in front of people, you're not as good at this because you need all those tools. You need all of those things propping you up when really, the memories in people's heads don't always have a spotlight on them.
Okay.
So being in the spotlight isn't important to making memories.
Okay.
And our job is to make memories for people.
That's
When
right.
they go to a haunted house, they don't get a pair of pants that they trade money for. They don't get a sandwich they trade money for. They're trading money for memories. So the purest form of our job is to stick in their head and make them remember it. Remember how to use silhouette. Remember how to use voice. Remember how to, do some phobia fishing and figure out how to get inside of someone's head, even if you only have 5 or 6 seconds to do it. That's massive. If you need all those tools to be effective, then you kind of suck at this.
Right. Because
you should go back to your roots.
Yes. It's all about impressions. We have to leave an impression. And some haunts are like 15, 20 minutes, just to get through. And you have to leave an impression on every guest that walks through that so that they can go back and tell somebody, oh, I remember when that one part or that. And it's all about making memories. It's all about giving them that entertainment value so that they can even go back and tell a friend so that they can buy a ticket. You guys, we got to remember that we are entertainers. We are producers. We are scare actors. It is important for you to leave a memorable impression on that ticket guest so that they can come back or so that they can go on a blog or a post and talk about it. That's what we want. We want those memories to happen. Can we talk about this? I'm going to dive deep with you about this one because I saw this question that was brought up in the chat of the Scare Actors group. How do we deal with nepotism and favoritism at a haunted house?
Well, nepotism, they own it. They're going to hire their family, and you might need to go somewhere else. And if enough people go somewhere else, they'll correct their behavior, or they'll just have to have enough family to cover all the spots. Nepotism is something where you're kind of stuck because it's not illegal. They have the right to hire their family and use their family, whether they are awesome or inept. It doesn't matter. They have that right. So that's something you're going to have to work around and maybe just go somewhere else. If that's their culture, then they have chosen that culture. The negative culture that you ignore is the negative culture that you are recommending to everyone. So you have to be aware that whatever you're ignoring, you're also recommending by ignoring it.
That's big. That's big, Alan. That's huge. When you say that, it's huge. That's heavy weight because A lot of people, a lot of haunt owners need to understand what they're doing, and they would take that absent, hey, I'm not going to look at it. I'm going to remove myself out of there. But really, you're just allowing it to happen. That's you saying yes to that being your culture. Oh, wow.
So now when it comes to favoritism, people are going to have favorites. I have favorite actors, but there are other actors who are amazing, and you couldn't make movies without them. So the way that you beat favoritism is just be amazing. And I hate to say this, but we are poor evaluators of whether or not we are amazing because we think we're amazing. When you are in a haunt set and there's a group of 10 people in front of you and your vision is narrow and you jump out and you scare the snot out of one person, and then you back up and you go get ready for the next group, you think you were great.
Right.
You only scared 10% of that group.
Right.
You only scared 10%. So, but in your mind, if you are acting from 4 feet, meaning that you're just you have to act from 20 feet above that scene. And you're steering your character. It's more like a video game. First person is too close. You have to have that 20 feet away perspective steering your character where it needs to go and seeing what you're missing. There's people up here who I never scared yet. I have 3 opportunities to scare a group. If I hit the same person every time, I've wasted it. I should hit the beginning of the group, the middle of the group, and the back of the group.
Yeah.
Spread that around so that everybody gets hit.
Wow.
But we have to evaluate how good we are and then know. And if you think you are amazing, maybe reassess a little bit. You might not be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I have to reassess and evaluate what I do and how I do it all the time, because I have a body that is falling apart and I've got to keep up with people in the set next to me who are, 19 and 20 years old, and they can just do this. I have to have superior technique.
Yeah.
I have to have superior technique. I have to have superior pitch and volume. You can make all of the most awesome noises in the world, but if they're at the same hertz as the music, then they'll never hear it because you're competing with a sound system. You've got to go above or below so that people can actually hear what you're doing.
Yeah.
But knowing that's a 100 feet away technique to know what's effective and what isn't.
You mentioned, I'm sorry to cut you off. Listen, I don't mean to cut Mr. Hops off, you guys. Everyone's like, wait. I don't mean to cut him off. You mentioned, because you're saying so much, and I gotta put pins in it. You mentioned a perspective from a seasoned scare actor, right? You're competing with and I'm getting up in age, and I'm like, yo, I can't get down and get up anymore. I can't do that slide anymore.
Yeah.
And then you start to see that the young folk start taking the scares. They're stealing your scares now. You're like, well, you're stealing my scare. What are you? Go ahead.
They shouldn't be stealing your scares. You should be feeding them scares. All right.
Okay.
Look at basketball. You get 2 points for making the point, but they also give you points for the assist. They count assists. Maybe I can't slide, but I can put people in a perfect position for you because I know how to move my body and I know how the crowd is going to react because I've been doing it longer than anybody else in the room. So I move the crowd where they need to be to get that perfect scare. I get the assist.
You're preaching. You're preaching. We are at the church of Yep, That's Scary, and Alan is the guest speaker here, preaching truth here. I love how you said it's the assistants. Don't take it as oh, they still scare. You've changed. Life happens, right? Be the assistants. Be the person that's giving the ball to them so that they can shoot.
A lot of the time right now, my job, I might only get 20 minutes to work because I have a lot of things to do. I'm an owner, but I'll still throw on my werewolf costume. I'll throw on a robe and a mask and a quick character. And I go through the show backwards. And I scare along the way backwards because I think a lot of the times if my cast says, oh, that fat old guy's still doing it, I got this. I can keep doing it, and I'll go through the show backwards and I'll scare through the show backwards. And then I'm just trying to get the energy up, get everybody's energy up. And that's all that I'm trying to do in that round. Yes, I'm scaring people, but I'm also letting the other actor see someone with the reins kicked off just go into town. And that's energizing.
Scaring backwards. Explain that to the ones that don't understand.
So the flow, the way the guests go through the show, there's a route that they run through the show.
Yep.
I go in the exit, and if I go in the exit and I work my way all the way to the front, every actor sees me. And my people are trained where no one is stealing your scares. So I'm not stealing your scares when I happen to go into your scene, because I know where your scare is because I built it, and I'm going to set you up better. I'm going to put myself in a position to where I'm not going to block your door. I'm going to be on the other side of the hallway, moving them closer to your door. And then you're going to get a hit, and then I'm going to get a hit and clean up the pieces you left behind. That's how you do it. And let them see how to work together. Let them see that, and let them see, the world is bigger than my little closet that I'm stuck in right now. And there's a bigger world out there. And just knowing that kind of helps folks keep going who might feel left out or isolated in a scene. I try to keep two people together, but you can't always do that.
Right. You make me feel bubbly inside to the point where I'm like, I want to scare act. I want to like go to your haunt and work with you. I want to scare with you at some point. Yes. I gotta go to Texas. I gotta do something. Because I'm a hands-on person, and there are plenty of hands-on people in our industry, and sometimes they just gotta get in it, and they gotta just be in it. I'm a visual person too, so I gotta see it sometimes. And so, I would just love just to get a day or a night where I can scare with you, so I can see what you're all about, and have bounce scares. And
one of the best things for an actor to do to grow is to go to other shows and see how they do it.
Yeah.
Not that they're doing it better, but it may be that, wow, my haunt is really doing this right. And, that's what I've learned from this experience. That's okay. That's fine. Or I'm at the right haunt for me and my style of haunting.
Yes.
Because they're different.
Okay, and it's so funny because I heard this happened before, and I'm glad you mentioned. I was at a haunt, and this one particular actor, Gerard, you know who I'm talking about, left this one particular haunt. But they were the ones that this particular haunt that they left was the haunt to introduce them into haunting, into being a scare actor, and they loved it. But then when they went and visited a different haunted attraction, they said, okay, my job here with you is done. I'm now leaving you to go to this haunted attraction. And that scare actor felt really big. Like, I have to do this because it's in me. Like, they are me.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, and I understood that. But the haunt owner that he left does not understand that, and takes offense to it. We're all getting kicked out of this show. I don't know why we are getting kicked out of this show, but it is the internet. I don't know if there's a storm coming or what, but I'm gonna have to email this platform and say, why are we getting kicked out during our live show? So, but I wanted to ask that question to Mr. Hops here, because how does one who knows what their true value is tell a haunt owner, hey, I gotta go because I'm not being fed what I am or who I am as a scare actor here. I need to go to a haunt that's more mature, that can feed me and make me and allow me to have the place that I can. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you guys are watching, you guys understand what I'm trying to say. That will happen, and if that happens to you, it's okay. Let them go. Is what the point is, because that haunt is more for them than your haunt. It's not what you're doing or what you're doing wrong. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. That's a double-edged sword. But the thing is, the culture or whatever they're presenting, if they like to go more extreme, they'll be able to go more extreme, and everyone is being out. I don't want to be kicked out of this show. I don't know what's going on. Chris says he's been in those shoes before and just left and needed to do me. Yes, Chris. So there are certain haunts that are just a little bit more mature, or maybe have a better show that you're used to doing or producing, and you just need to go there. Then the haunt that you're at, that's okay. Haunt owners, send them off. Give them their blessing. Send them off. If there's bad attitudes, maybe talk to the haunt owner. Say, hey, this one's coming over there. I don't know. I'm just saying, because we're all connected. But really, don't really talk crap about someone unless they need to. You need to speak about their behavior or about their who they are as a character. Their character. Don't assassinate anyone's character here, because your haunt isn't that haunt they need to be at. You know what I'm trying to say? He says too many people feel guilt for things that shouldn't be that way. Yes, so we're talking about it. We're talking about it, Alan. Someone leaving a haunt for another haunt. What is your thoughts on that? Because of
great. I mean, you don't own that person, and it might be that there's a culture that they enjoy somewhere else, or they think they do. The grass is always greener on the other side. Every show has problems. Every show has issues and personalities. And it's not until you're there that you really see it. Mm-hmm. Unless you are the director or the owner, you shouldn't feel guilty for anything happening at your show. Now, you can do everything in your power to make it better.
Mm-hmm.
You can do everything in your power to make it better. I am a whole, complete entity, and I am happy with who I am and my performance. Now, it's my job to get other people to be whole and complete entities, be happy to be there, and be happy with their performance.
Yep.
I'm just there to help at that point. And you can do all that you want. And there might be people who don't want that from you, or they feel you're stepping on their toes. That's perfectly fine. Well, you don't have to be there. You have options.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're in a one haunt town. Well, remember what I said about building your own table if they don't want you at yours?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yep. I mean, hey, look, before I became pro as a pro haunter building haunted attractions, I was at Not Scary Farm. And I was sitting there in the backstage on my break, and I was like, oh yeah, I have friends that can do costumes and friends that do makeup. I have actor friends. I have, let me do this. And I started to do my own, and that's how I became connected with Blumhouse. Blumhouse called me and was like, hey, we got these movies, and we want to turn these movies into haunted attractions during Halloween. Helped the licensing and the booking between them and Halloween Horror Nights. But the thing is, if you feel like you moved on or you can do more in the industry, do more and give more and be a key player in it. I want to say this. I know we're running out of time, but I want to say this, Alan Hobson. We may have to do a twofer. We have to do a two-part. But any advice you could give to a haunt owner doing actors training? Any few nuggets that you want to just drop to them before we wrap up and close?
Don't let your cast direct your show.
Big time.
Just because they really, really, really want to do something. If it doesn't fit with what you have laid out, then maybe don't do that.
Don't do it.
But if you don't have anything laid out for them, then maybe go with it and look at having that person direct in the future if they have a solid sense of direction. But look at your people and understand their strengths, and don't try to put ducks in giraffe costumes. Figure out, maybe you want a super duper high energy, intense show, but that's not what you're getting. People are changing. The average haunted house actor in 2022 had nothing to do and does not resemble the average haunted house actor in 1990.
Woo!
Different animals.
Mm-hmm.
They have different influences from media. They have different viewpoints. I would say massively expanded viewpoints because, of the internet and whatnot. They care about more things. They have more intense feelings. And it's not that they're weaker, it's that they're different. You know,
Yeah.
they don't need to be exactly the same as we were when we were that age, because the world is different.
Right.
The skills that we needed are not the skills that they needed. You have to think about your cast lives in the 11 months they're not with you, as well as the 1 month that they are. You can't expect them to be a super duper rage machine that month when those skills will not serve them at all the other 11 months out of the year. So adjust your show so that maybe the people who can't handle, the actors who can't handle that intensity of emotion for that long, they're doing it in shorter spurts. You're moving people around and not having to do the same thing all the time, but adjust your show for the cast that you have in order to get the best performance.
Beautiful. Well said. So I want to do this. I want to real quick before we wrap up. I want to do this. I want to point out this your companies. What is going on with Stilt Beast Studios? What do we got in plans or down the pipeline for your company here?
So with Stilt Beast, we do a lot of we make costumes and masks and things for haunted houses all over the country. We do actor training where we go out to haunted attractions and help train their actors. Some of the things we're talking about here, we are booked up for this season, but we're not for next season. And one of the things we also do is we do a lot of classes here at Dark Hour. I bought Dark Hour in January. Me and my wife and Mike Ortiz, my partner, we bought Dark Hour. And now that we have this big building, it's a 50,000 square foot building. We have a whole class area set up. We do mask making classes.
I love it.
We were doing stilt walking classes, but we're doing all kinds of classes here. And we'll probably end up doing some management training, some management weekends where people can come out and learn these haunt management techniques, culture building, all of those kinds of things. So
okay, so real quick, where can they find you? This is a segment where I let you give a little split of where they can find you, how they can connect with you, where they, and then what you're doing again. If you can just revamp that for the ones that are watching. Ready? Here we go.
I'm one of the easiest people to find in the haunted attraction industry. You can find me on Facebook. You can find Stilt Beast Studios on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel with about almost 100,000 subscribers. We're very close, where I do a lot of how to make things. darkhourhauntedhouse.com is the haunted house that I'm an owner of. And we're just out here serving the haunted attraction community any way we can. That's it. We're easy to find.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, let me just say this. Thank you so much for the bottom of my heart for being on here. We're going to have to bring you back another day, maybe at the next season or after the haunt season. But like, you have inspired me again. It's just to have you on is a lot. And I'm glad that I could have a platform where I could do that and just chat with you and chat with others. So thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for giving. Thank you for being a key player in the industry and being a standard and holding a standard, because we all lose track of what we're doing and because we're just humans. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I don't always know what haunts are right now, but I know what I want haunts to be. And I work in a way in order to make haunting what I want it to be. And there are other people who have different opinions and they work differently. And I think that's one of the joys of this, is that everybody has their own voice, and it's art. It's hard to do it wrong.
Right. And don't you think our industry is kind of like the Wild Wild West, though? Like, people are just doing anything and everything. And sometimes we need to govern ourselves. Sometimes we need to kind of come together and just talk, things through.
I think I'm one end of the spectrum. And I think people see what I'm doing as one possible road. We all like to hope that we're on the high road, and there's other shows that are doing very vastly different things, and they're treating their audience differently and their cast differently, and they're breeding a different audience and a different type of cast member. It doesn't mean that they're doing it wrong. They're just doing it differently than I would do it.
Okay.
I want to bring up this because Gerard dropped a bone, and here on Yep That's Scary, we like to dish out. We like to be transparent. We like to tell what's going on with the industry. Gerard dropped that we've seen a shift and a change in Transworld, and he said that Transworld is now picking up other entertainment vendors and has seen a change in that. Or is that true? Do we see a shift in Transworld where it's like becoming more entertainment vendors? It has the hot entry have plateaued. What do you think? Because I saw that we have a new interactive show on Transworld, and so I saw that, and I saw that website myself. But I thought that was like a new thing that they were doing, and we just want to know. We want to be the first ones to kind of talk about it. So, is there a shift in Transworld? No.
Yes, there's a shift, and the shift happened because we got into a loop. I hate to say this, haunt vendors were asking haunt owners what they should make, and as soon as that happens, you have an issue where, I hate to say this, haunt owners are not always the most creative people out there. Sometimes they are, and it's amazing, but sometimes they are not. And if all you're doing is regurgitating ideas, and you're seeing the same things and the same themes over and over again, there's going to be a shift because we got to look somewhere else. So you're seeing the interactive portion of the show. You're seeing, all that other stuff come in.
So my question is, who or how or what do we need to do in order to cultivate the creation? Okay, you're a creative person. I'm a creative person. And let me say this, it being in California, and with the Honda industry there, that market, it was very cutthroat. And it took a convention, Scare LA, Midsummer Screams, to kind of bring everyone together. It's like, no, and then we're gonna not worry about the ugly and the negative, but we're gonna start cultivating creativity. We're gonna challenge the status quo. We're going to be an incubator of creativity. And we see this in film. I've been in film industry. I know this for a fact. We see this in other industries. Why not ours?
It's difficult. Are you ready for the difficult part?
Let's go. Bring it.
Your ideas are valid. Your ideas, your angle of how you want to do this is valid. And it has value and it has merit. Just because it's not my idea doesn't mean it's not amazing. Your ideas have value and merit. And the more people who feel that in their heart, they will release their ideas instead of just regurgitating other things that they see. That's already out there, so it must be safe. Do things that are not safe. Do things that are scary.
Do you think we'll find an organization or a system in place or a group where we can start harnessing the creativity, creating a safe place for the creatives or for the creative narrative?
Okay. Yes, that's possible. I don't want to do it because I don't want to harness anything. I want the haunted house big bang creation of the universe. Everybody has amazing ideas and they're all traveling out from the point and the love of this is haunting and this is Halloween. And then their ideas get crazier and crazier while it's still traced right back to Halloween. It's still traced right back to haunted houses. But we have these amazing original ideas that are all rocketing out from that point. We can't all hitch to the same wagon because that's just not how the world works anymore. If you ask a 16-year-old what their favorite band is, they're going to say a death metal band from Scandinavia that was only around for 4 years because they have picked up those videos or whatever on Spotify, whatever it is that they're doing now. But it's something you've never heard of.
Right.
That's what our industry kind of has to do. We have to do these weird haunted houses, these things that people can attach to. And it has to have a little bit of appeal for the masses because that's your marketing too, but it has to have its own identity. And that's what we need to be able to have the strength of not just having a haunt that appeals to the masses.
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying.
We need to add that individuality, I think, to every haunt. It doesn't mean you can't have haunt vendors that make generic things, but if every haunt asks for a custom paint job, a custom costume that fits what they're doing, that same animation is going to have 30 faces all over the country.
Right. Yep. I understand. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear on that. See, because, from my heart, I've been there. I've done it. I've seen both sides. And I know if we could come together, hey, you survive, I survive. And I always say that because I want to, and that's why I became a giver such as you, because if you survive, I'm going to survive. We have the same audience, maybe different market. You know what I mean? And go ahead.
If a guest goes to a good haunted house, they might go through another haunted house next weekend.
Yep.
If they go through a bad haunted house, they might not go to one for 10 years.
Woo! You guys get it? You guys get it?
I want them all to be good.
If you guys watching, do you guys get what we're talking about here? This is true. We're talking truth here. Like, let's not get behind the politics and this, that, the other. Let's be real for a second. Like, this is real talk. That if we don't do anything in our industry, we may lose our industry, and I don't want to lose. And some people want to keep it to amongst their haunt because then I'm going to be the one that's going to survive the longest. Well, really,
the biggest shift that we've had in our industry is that it used to be on weekend nights, our biggest competition was going to the movies or maybe going to a football game.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I'm in Texas right now.
I remember that.
Our biggest competition is we have to be better than their entertainment options staying at home. Because staying at home is that's the best, right? You have to be better than staying at home.
You got all these platforms. I'm sorry, Chris, be so loud, but I see I'm getting passionate. I mean, listen, he's saying truth. I mean, nuggets. Pick them up, guys. Look, I'm just sitting at home. I'm okay to be alone at home, and I'm okay because when I start getting people and different attitudes and vibes and nasty, I don't want to deal with that right now. No,
but you can watch any movie you want to watch that's ever been made.
Yep.
You can play any video game that you want that's ever been made.
Yep.
Any form of entertainment you want to do can come right to you at home. So why do you need to go out?
Why do you need to go?
I'm going to show you things you've never seen before or thought of.
There you go.
You guys do that being an average regurgitated haunted house.
Wow. Listen, we got this, everyone say good show, good show. Listen, this is a good show. This is something that we don't want to skip over. We got so much going on in our lives, but sometimes we need to pause and just resonate or pause and regroup, pause and rethink, pause and support each other because again, if you survive, I survive, and this is great talk. You know what? That's our time for today. I want to say thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Alan Hops, for just really kicking it and just really doing it for us here at Yep, That's Scary. I gotta have you back for part 2. But you guys, before we go, we have something that we call our last video of the day. It is our last scare video, and I want to share this scare video with you guys today because this was trending. Check it out.
It's the circle of life.
I love that, right? First of all, I love the screams, but it's the circle of life. And with that being said, I want to thank you guys. I want to thank Alan Hops for being on the show again. Thank you so much for your love of the industry and just bringing it back to us. Thank you to Gerard, my co-host, everyone. Also, I want to thank all the viewers that are with us live and listeners listening to our podcast at home, work, or driving in transit. We appreciate you for your love and support. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Happy graduation to all the graduating booze out there. Please remember to follow, like, subscribe, and share our social media accounts so we can continue to engage while building our horror and haunted house family. Until next time, guys, remember, stay scary.
Yo, if you like what you have just heard, subscribe now or forever hold your screams.